This is Robert Clotworthy, the narrator of The Curse of Oak Island, and I have a question for you. Could it be that you are listening to The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream?
This is a top pocket find, mate, for sure.
Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? Jeff Freeman here with The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream, and thank you, Tom Burns, for jumping in kind of last minute.
Yep, we're here.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so very much. I am coming on a little bit early, folks, and it is for good reason. As you know, I talked about bringing up and talking a little bit about the hurricane Fiona that is bearing down on the northeastern coastline of Canada right now. Cape Breton and all of that is going to get hit pretty good, it looks like, and of course Halifax and all that. It looks like they're not going to take the brunt of it, but it's still going to be bad. And so the reason I came on a little bit early, I know that Court Lindahl and Tom are Court and John Edwards have their show going on right now, and I didn't want to interrupt their show with this, but Dr. Ian Spooner had reached out to me and said, "Hey, if you want me, I can come on right now." So what I want to do is I want to send him a link here real quick so that he can jump in with us. Yeah, when you've got somebody like that wants to come on and he is in a time crunch with what's happening, I did not want to delay that.
Sure.
So let me send him the link right now. I appreciate you folks for coming in here a little bit impromptu here for me to jump on a little early like that, but I hope you understand. Hi, Alice.
I actually just came in from outside and the wind is starting to pick up here. I mean, I'm in New Brunswick, so I'm a long ways away from the brunt of it. We only have a tropical storm warning here and a wind warning, but it's starting to pick up.
Wow. Yeah. So I sent the link over to Ian. He is seeing it. He should be here any moment now. And he's going to give us him along with some of the other folks from locals like Tom and Colin and all of them are going to come on and give us a little bit of an update of what's happening right now with the current state of the hurricane moving in. And of course, Ian Spooner and some of the folks from the Curse of Oak Island will be joining us briefly. They're not going to stay long because they all have a lot going on right now, trying to get things done. But we just wanted to make sure that they are okay. As you know, folks, I talk about this quite a bit. I am a Christian. My prayers are out for all the folks there on the whole entire east coast of Canada that may be affected by this. And so, you know, we are praying for them that I kind of was hoping that it would move out to sea or really lessen its intensity so that it doesn't affect them adversely. We don't want any loss of or injury or damage of stuff. There will probably be some trees down and that sort of thing and flooding, I'm afraid. You know, what are they talking about right now, Tommy? Have you heard?
Well, this one is kind of unusual in that normally we see these storms come up the coast. In the wintertime, we call them a nor'easter. In the fall and summer, you call them, you know, a tropical cyclone or a hurricane or something like that. And they normally come up the coast, grab the jet stream and kind of get up close to around to the Maritimes or Nova Scotia, and then take a hard right. Now, the odd time they will go up and maybe clip the coast of Newfoundland up along the Avalon Peninsula. But for the most part, they mostly bear to the right. And this one, for whatever meteorologists want to tell us, is going to hit the Cape Breton Cancel Causeway area and take a hard left.
Yeah. And that's weird. And I do have, and I will show this real quick. I'm going to share this screen. Excuse me. And this is from the, I got this, this is from CTV. And I just grabbed it a few moments ago, and it is showing some of what's happening right now. I believe this is relatively up to date, and it is showing the current state of where the hurricane is, and you can see Cape Breton there, and it's going to be hitting there pretty hard. A lot of the wraparound and whatnot is going to be through the Halifax area as well, Charlottetown.
Yeah, and keep in mind from the track itself, right? The storm, when it breaks down to what they call subtropical, subtropical storm doesn't mean it's any less powerful,
right?
But it means your eye is breaking down a little bit, and the storm will actually increase in dimensions. So what you see there as a track doesn't actually mean that's where all the damage is going to be. It's going to be hundreds of kilometers out from that.
Yeah. Yep. And like I said, we're really concerned about the folks there in that area and yourself, Tom. You're in New Brunswick, but still, I mean, you said it's just now starting to get windy there. No
Just
rain yet,
starting to,
though.
the winds are just starting to pick up here now. Yeah, well, I don't really expect anything. We're supposed to get overnight here gusts of 90 kilometers or better.
Wow.
So I mean, in Nova Scotia, they're going to get easily 100 plus, 120, 130 gusts or better.
Yeah. Jan, I'm sorry. I did say 7:30. The reason I came on, folks, the reason I came on early was because Dr. Ian Spooner, I have reached out to some of the folks from the Curse of Oak Island and locals in the area, like Alessandra is going to join us here in just a little bit. I have invited them to come on and just kind of give us an update of what's happening and how they are doing. And Dr. Ian Spooner reached out to me and said, sooner the better for him, because he's obviously got lots of things going on. So that's why I jumped on here early. I do appreciate you folks for jumping in there. Yeah, there's Scott. Scott Barlow. Also, yeah, appreciate it, Scott, coming on. How are things? I'd love to bring you on, Scott. If you'd like to, I can send you the link if you'd like to come in. I know you're not.
Don't do it, Scott. Once he hooks you in, you'll never get out.
Yeah. Once you come on the show, you're that's it. You're stuck. You're never going to get away from being on the show. I know, but Scott, we like I said, our prayers and thoughts are out for everybody in that whole area. We certainly don't want to see any injuries or anything like that happen. Okay, so we're still waiting for.
I would be
Dr.
curious
Spinner.
to know how many times Scott Barlow's cell phone has gone off tonight.
Oh my God! Oh, just listening. Okay, Scott says he's just listening. I was what? Oh, you're making. Scott said he's making. I gotta bring this up. This is Scott right here. It's coming over as Facebook user, but he's making bacon wrapped scallops. Okay, that's a great hurricane meal to have. I think. Right? What do you think?
Absolutely, get those babies cooked before the power goes out.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness! Yes.
you can cook them on the barbecue too. So
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, just listening. Okay, well that's fine. We appreciate it, but yeah. Oh, you got some neighbors. Yeah, it looks like Colin is wanting some dropped off. I don't know. It's let's I'm going to send the link out to a few more people here too. Just and this was an opportunity also as we watch the track of the storm. This is an opportunity also to just kind of I wanted to spend some time just being able to chat with everybody. There is Dr. Spooner. Ian, how are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. How are things going there right now for you?
Well, I mean, they're going to be fine, but we're going to lose power and we're going to have damage. And I mean, it's a matter of just riding it out. I was just down to the island this afternoon because I have my dinghy down there.
Oh.
We're doing some work on one of the properties and just lashing it to a tree. And they've worked really hard to batten down the hatches.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine that. We were talking with a few people, from the island today, and just kind of getting an idea of, with the preparations. I can't imagine. I mean, you guys end up with so many people on the island, during this time, of course, and then trying to clear everything out and then save everything that you can. So that when you come back, you don't have all this work to do to get everything back in operation again and continue with what you're doing out there. Has that, I mean, I know you guys, Rick and Marty have done a lot of work to have the rocks, Billy Gerhardt, and then put the rocks all the way around to protect the shoreline. That is all completed now, correct?
I think mostly, but it's going to be very interesting to see what weather brings because the wind is kind of from the northeast and it'll clock around to the west with this low pressure. So the waves won't be bad, the wind waves, but the swell could be, I mean, they're talking 7-meter waves out in the ocean.
Oh.
So that 7 to 8 meters. So we're talking almost 30-foot waves. So, and with a big storm setup, I mean, I think it's just a matter of showing up on Monday and seeing what's left.
Yeah, I think they're forecasting a high tide in the morning too. So
yeah, that's just going to exacerbate it.
It'll drive that water right up in there.
Yep. Scott Barlow and a few of the folks that work with him did a pretty amazing job putting everything to bed quickly today. So, they did as. It's just a shame because sometimes at this time of the year you get to the really, really, really interesting things happening.
Exactly.
And you run out of time,
Mhm.
and then weather comes in,
Yes.
and it just, it's extremely difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know like a couple of years ago when that other hurricane came through, there was a lot of damage to the causeway, even preventing people from getting over there, wasn't there?
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, it's just a matter of seeing what today brings. But and tonight and tomorrow, the problem with this one is usually high winds last for 3 or 4 hours, but they're forecasting because there's this low that's come in from the west.
Right.
It's kind of like The Perfect Storm, the movie, similar type of situation. And so this is going to last for 12 to 14 hours.
Wow.
And so that's what they're really worried about is it's like 4 times the length and it's about 5 times the size. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Now, where do you live in? Now, I know Tom is up in New Brunswick. What part of the area do you live in?
I live about 50 minutes away in a place called the Annapolis Valley, but I have a boat in Chester, which is just, put it this way. I've had that boat since the early 2000s. And for many years, I'd sail by the island and say, what the heck are they doing? I'd even sometimes yell advice from my boat. I'd see people on shore and say, you're never going to find it. And I remember one time, and this is a kind of funny little story, I anchored my boat with my son off of Tom Nolan's place.
Mm-hmm.
And we were playing some music, Jimmy Buffett, that kind of stuff, having a good time. And Tom yelled out, turn the music down. And I said, I'm allowed to do what I want. And now, of course, I know Tom pretty well. And he said, next time, Ian, just come to the dock, stay overnight, have a beer. But I know the bay super well because I've been sailing there for about 20 years.
Wow.
And so today I was down primarily making sure my boat was secure. Who knows what Sunday will bring with respect to my sailboat, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. I was watching one of the webcams earlier today. I was actually watching one from Peggy's Cove, and as I was working today, I was watching it because I wanted to see how the changes were taking place, and I didn't realize that it was actually just a repeat of yesterday. And I'm thinking, well, it's not getting bad there at all, and it really looks good. And then I found the timestamp, and it was actually repeating yesterday, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm watching the wrong one. So then I switched over to Tancook Island, the wharf there, and was getting a little bit better look at what's happening. So it looks like it was just now starting to really get in there and start to rain and all of that. Is that what you're noticing now there? Is it raining?
Yeah, we're probably getting 30, 40 mile an hour wind gusts right now, but it's really not supposed to pick up till around midnight here and continue till probably around 10, 11 in the morning tomorrow with pretty torrential rain too. So that's the big problem is in Nova Scotia, we're going to have roads washed out and that kind of thing happening.
Yeah, I don't know about Nova Scotia, but in New Brunswick, we had a lot of rain last night too. So the ground is already saturated.
Yeah, where are you, Tom?
I'm just outside St. John. I'm just about 10 miles from the Bay of Fundy. Yeah.
Oh, so Rothsay, not Rothsay.
Rothsay area. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, I'm in Quispamsis, which is the adjoining town. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Quispamsis is great. My daughter used to play hockey. And you've got that nice arena there, and we used to play there. Yeah.
It's the Q-Plex. Yeah, it's just about
the Q-Plex. Yeah.
2 or 3 kilometers from here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So great job.
Yeah.
He's got a camp out at where's the camp at, Tom?
It's on the Kennebecasis River.
Okay.
So I mean, if I get up on my roof and look down the river's only a kilometer from my house. I can almost see it from here.
And I go skiing at I call it Polly Mountain or
Polly Mountain, in Sussex,
Yeah, great little ski hill.
It is,
small, but it's really a lot of fun. Yeah, nice part of that. But I don't think you folks are going to get nearly as bad as we're going to get it here.
No.
No.
We're going to get the rain. We're going to get some wind. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be top end like 90 kilometers, which
Yeah.
in the wintertime would be nothing.
Right.
Right.
But
But
with
when
the
you've got
leaves
the
on the
trees
trees,
still, the leaves on
Yeah.
the trees, that's, and the ground saturated,
Yep.
a spruce tree will break off, but
Mhm.
a maple tree is just going to tip over and haul everything up with it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what everybody's worried about here. I'm going to just be so interested to see what happens on the island, because they're so exposed. And
Well, not just that. I was thinking today, and you don't tell me because it's something they're doing on the island, but I was thinking today about all the little tents and canopies and things like that they have set up. I'm thinking, boy, they better strap those babies down or they're going to kiss them goodbye.
yeah, they did a lot of work yesterday and today to try to secure it. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you figure right up there at the money pit, with the wind, and that's is that the money pit area, and again, I don't want to get into too much of what's happening on the island, but the with the way the money pit is situated and some of the containers and the the equipment and whatnot that's right there, the wind and it's up in the air a little higher than the water level.
Yeah.
And that wind's going to be coming right in there, and that sustained wind is really what kind of over a period of time, that constant sustained wind is what really, as Tom mentioned earlier and you did too, or Ian, is that pulling those big trees down with the ground being saturated. We know that when you go out to weed your garden or whatever, it's so much easier to pull them out when the ground is wet. Okay, that makes sense. So with the ground wet, those trees are not going to have that foothold that they normally would, and that sustained wind is just going to. Now, do you guys have is there, and again, I don't want to get into anything that would,
No, but ask away. Yeah,
well, I was just kind of curious. I mean, what's the plan for the weekend? I mean, are they hoping that you guys will, come out over the weekend and kind of get things rolling, or no?
No,
Stay away.
Stay away. Yep. And
Cool.
I do know that Scott Barlow is I think he's still in the area and he's going to monitor it really closely.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now. He was anyway. He said he was having bacon wrapped scallops right now. He's cooking up for dinner. So.
Why didn't he invite me? I mean, I was down there this afternoon. Like, what's going on there? Well, at any rate, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's a mean crew. It's an unfriendly bunch of people.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's yeah.
Well, look at it this way. It's just one less Christmas gift you have to buy now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good thing. Yeah. Bacon wrapped scallops. Well, we have smoked salmon up here, Scott. So if you're still around, you're not having any of my smoked salmon. But no, I think I teach geomorphology. In fact, a course called Geomorphology. It's Earth Surface Processes. And on Monday, we're going to be starting the module on coastal processes. And so I will be using a lot of the cam footage, news footage, because there's going to be all sorts of stuff that we can refer to that's going to be happening. It's going to be quite phenomenal.
Yeah, that's Scott right there, by the way.
What did he say? Easy Tigger? Spoondog. Yeah, I don't know. Where can I get into the chat here? I should be getting him back, but
well, yeah,
yeah. But all that being said, there's a group of people who are extremely capable. I mean, they're very lucky to have a group of people there who really maintain the island, and so I wouldn't be surprised if things are just up and running, when this thing's over, because it's just so well maintained.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. It really, truly is, and that's something about it. It says a lot for, Rick and Marty and the team to put together a group of people that are this good at doing that and have prepared in such a great way. So it's good to know that that's happening because, like you said, you guys need to get out there and continue. We saw what happened, like I said, a few years ago with the hurricane that came through and how much preparation had to be done. Of course, we all saw it from the TV show, which, we only get a very small portion of what work really happens out there. We only get to see a little bit of it, but the after effects, of course. And then, like you said, they've done so much work to make preparations for this type of event over, the course of a few years now, preparing for this type of thing and how they can bounce back from it and keep on with what you're doing, because you have like you said, you have a limited window of time to work with anyway. And it always
Yeah.
seems this time of year is like crunch time. And you really seem like you have a lot more going on from September till the end of shooting season than you did
Well,
from May and up till this point.
yeah, it's kind of like, to me, um, it's kind of like a car going down in a funny way down a hill where, you crest the hill and you start going down, you got all this momentum and things just start to happen. Like, I've been completely surprised by that, because most of my work and previous work in terms of working on, well, I call them contaminated sites. It's just this site is contaminated with something that's a lot more fun than most of the sites I've worked on. But is you get in there, you do your work, and it's kind of over in a short period of time, and you really never have a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
But what I've found with this experience is that there's all sorts of people working on different angles. Like, Doug and his crew are working on an angle, and Paul is doing his thing, and Rick and Marty and Craig. Everybody's working together, but also everybody's got projects. And then what happens is things are found, new things are discovered, things have to be put on the side burner, and then time's sort of crunching, and all those beautiful June days, and July, it was pretty hot this year. They're sort of in the background, and what you've got in front of you is 6 weeks, rain, cold, wind, and you're trying to get the work done. And so I've been really actually quite impressed. I've only been involved for 4 years, but they just the perseverance that people have to carry it through right to the end and beyond, right to the end and beyond.
Right.
It's really a dedicated bunch.
Yeah, it truly is. And that was neat to have somebody, and again, you are an integral part of this whole thing, ever since you came on the scene, and the things that you've done and the things you've discovered. I mean, they would be so far behind, quite honestly. And I'm not just trying to throw this out there to, to butter you up or whatever you want to say, but truly, if you have made some significant discoveries of yourself to lead along this entire process, which is phenomenal. And that's what, somebody was I posted that up there real quick. Oh, right here. This was from Henry. And he said, we love Dr. Spooner. Without you, there would be no truckload of silver to look forward to.
Yes, that's something that has stuck with me, that one quote. But all that being said, one thing I think that's really important, and full disclosure, is whether it's the work that's being done in the water or the work on the stone road, that those ideas actually came from other people, and so the water work all came from Rick. It all started with Rick asking me, "Hey, is there something we can do with water?" And me saying, still in a silly way, saying, "Not a lot, because you never find silver in water. Like that doesn't happen." And well, should we try? And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess we can try." And so most of the things that I've been involved in have really come from the ideas of folks like Rick or Scott or Doug, who have been so committed to this, I almost call it adventure. I kind of came in as a consultant. So I've been a little bit of a messenger, a conveyor of information, a kind of, a person that bridges. But most of the things I've been involved in really started with somebody, one of those principal people. I still see myself as as sort of very much a support person in this whole endeavor.
Well, I tell you what, you bring a lot of expertise to the table, and that's really what's important, I think. And that, and again, there's been some quotes and stuff like that made, but I really think that they obviously, they've kept you on there. They value your expertise and your opinion on things too. So that means a lot for them as well, because it's very true. And there's times that and again, I know that watching the show, we see such a very small portion of what's really taking place out there, all the film that ends up on the cutting room floor that never makes air. But some of the things that we've seen, you do, like you finding the piece of wood that was between the rocks. This was in the very first portion of the flat stone area that was
Yeah, the
north.
paved area. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. And you found that piece of wood that was smashed between the rocks and it dated
right.
to the 1200s. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, that's just phenomenal. And again, having you out there to do those kinds of things. And then I seen you going around with you, and I think it was you and Rick were in the, like, I call it a Zodiac boat. It's the inflatable.
Mhm.
And you're going around and you're shoving that
The probe,
iron piece of,
the
the probe
Yeah.
down there, and you're
Yeah.
hitting
Piece
the
of rebar or
rocks.
something like
A
that.
piece
Yeah.
of rebar, yeah.
Well, actually, it was a finely machined piece of stainless steel,
Really?
and I use that thing all the time when we do work on wetlands
Mhm.
because we're trying to understand how deep the wetland is, so that we can get a complete core or record from the wetland. So it's terribly analog. It's not really all that sophisticated, but it works very, very well.
Yeah.
But even that all started with Rick saying, "Hey, I think you should look here," because 5 years ago I was up to my waist in muck, but there was these stones that seemed to be shallower. I said, okay, yeah, I'll do some work there, and we did some sonar, and then so again, that wasn't an idea that really started with me. It started with what I call the experienced ones, the elders, the elders on the other. Yeah. So
Senior members, the senior
The
members.
the senior
Yeah,
members, yes,
yeah.
the distinguished folks. Yeah. So all those things. The paved area was very interesting, and without getting into details of this year, I just like there's some stuff that I think is, wow, perhaps even more important than that showed up this year.
Wow, fantastic.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So it's gratifying because to find one thing that's kind of an outlier, it's still an outlier. But if you start to find other things that maybe support it, then you've really got something.
Yeah,
And so,
absolutely. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
then
that,
how those things always lead you to something else, another piece of
Yep.
it, the puzzle. Yep.
yeah. Well, people just keep on looking and keep on suggesting, and then you keep on like I do the testing, and then see what we end up with. And then, of course, then you have to bring in the archaeologists because they find the artifact, or Gary, they find the real important stuff, in my opinion, at least.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yes and no. They do,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I would call it the more important stuff, because each piece, and this is something that I have talked about on the show many times, is that each piece of the puzzle, people like, they're going, oh my gosh, they found more wood in the money pit, big deal, or they found more wood in the swamp, oh my gosh, big deal. But each one of those pieces tells a story, especially when
Yeah.
you get it dated and all of that. They all tell a story. Are you in searcher area, or are you outside of searcher area? Is this original depositor wood possibly? Where does it date to? The pieces of wood you found in the swamp around the stone road and all of that kind of stuff. So each time you get one of those, I'm thinking, okay, get that dated. We got to know what the date is on that, because that's going to tell a story. And each one of these little pieces, it does.
Yeah, more often than not, it's a story that just further confuses us all. But yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
and for me as a maritimer, like Canadian,
Yeah.
to see this kind of work going on, next door, and to
Mhm.
see it making that much history, rewriting history, really, or clarifying history, is it's really something to see.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think that's a message I sort of hope will get out, because in my mind, there aren't that many experiences out there that people can sort of participate in and share in, that are sort of telling this kind of story, which is, part adventure and part science and part theory and ideas. And certainly the folks there welcome people with ideas, new ideas. And I think that's great. I really, really do. I think it's not all about science.
Yeah.
Stories are so important, and new ideas built around old stories are great. So it's one of the few places that takes all of that and mashes it up. And I think that's a very healthy perspective on trying to understand history, not just the science, but the stories, trying new things out. And I think that's what makes, for me, the experience so unique. I've never been involved in anything like this, that respects all perspectives on trying to solve a mystery, you know?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Not only that, but also the history that's already there. Like, a lot of people got all very upset when the whole thing came up with the Mi'kmaq pottery that was found and the artifacts that was found. And on the TV show, talking to Laird, they said that what was actually shown on the TV show was actually the least of what they found. Why they chose to show just those pieces or whatever, I don't know. But, working, with those folks, you have to respect that. And that's one of the things that I love about, Rick and Marty and the team, all of you, is
Mhm.
that you are very conscious about that. And you're not going to go in and just start obliterating things. You're going to be very careful about what you're finding and document it every step of the way, which is
That
exactly what everybody wants.
and that message I wish would become a little more apparent, because people are very careful and they are very respectful, and of all histories, whether it's Black Nova Scotian history, and that's Sam Ball and his
Yep.
influence there, or whether it's settler histories like Vaughan and McGuinness, or whether it's First Nations histories. There's
Yes.
a lot of respect, and I think a lot of interest in partnerships, and sometimes maybe that doesn't come across to people, but people shouldn't get angry about that.
Correct.
Things get sorted out with time,
Yep.
and I think that's that's being moved towards. But that's also impressed me very much about the folks involved is that sensitivity to the social aspects of history. And it's not something that I'm really connected with. That's more Laird and some of those folks, but I will assure you that there's a heck of a lot of integrity there.
Yep. Exactly. And we get that. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, just for even someone that just watches the show as an occasional viewer will pick up on that. I mean,
I hope so.
it's pretty evident. It's pretty evident, especially now for the people that are more into it, like Jeff and I, and knowing a few people that are involved in it. I mean, you can see that there's a genuine interest and a genuine concern in not overstepping or overdoing or destroying or removing things they shouldn't remove, and doing it the right way. And this whole the Mi'kmaq thing, let's call it, it's one of the bumps they hit in the road, and they'll smooth it out and they'll work around it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we'll work. Yeah, we'll find partnerships. We'll find a way to work together, and I think that's happening. So,
good.
That's a good thing. At the end of the day, it's the people involved that really tell the tale.
Yep.
And I just want to make it absolutely clear that everybody, nothing is done without care and attention to the social impact of what's being done. So that's impressed me. I've got a life outside of the show. Everybody does there, really, and at the university, and so that integrity is extremely important. And every chance I get, I try to talk about that.
Yeah. And then many of the people who watch this show and watch The Curse of Oak Island feel the same way. I mean, some folks got mad that they got certain areas cordoned off that they could work with. But I tell you, honestly, in the end, it was the right thing to do. And some of us have also talked about the fact that if anybody, whoever would have come here hundreds of years ago and made landfall in Nova Scotia, who are they going to be meeting?
Absolutely.
So why not bring them on board on this? Why not find out what that history is there as well? So, I mean,
and everybody's working towards that. It's complex. It's a complex thing, and it takes time. But I saw that one comment, and I think everybody feels exactly the same way. There's certainly no animosity, and no resistance to that. It's just a complex thing to make happen. And especially make happen in a way that folks can people can participate. A viewer could participate in that, because often it's perhaps a more private, and there's a lot of trust that has to be developed. Those sorts of things. So I hope in time that'll become more visible to people.
I think
who
it will.
participate in this. Yeah.
I think it will. And like
Yeah.
I said, I know that, watching the show from the very beginning, like most of us have, we have that feeling of, Rick and Marty and the integrity that these two guys have, and Craig Tester. And then each of the people like yourself who have been brought on to it have melded right into that with them in that same belief. So it's like Dave Blankenship said one time when he was said it, I was out in town and somebody said, "Oh, I know that guy." And he said, "You don't know me." But in that, I brought this up before, but yes, we don't know Dave Blankenship personally, but we feel like we know you because we watch you every week when the season is on, and we get to understand about your personalities and the type of people you are. And we feel like you guys are all you have the same mindset in this, and you all are people of integrity. There's not going to be planting of things. Oh, look what we found over here. And we just plant. No, because that's what, we get naysayers like, oh, they plant stuff. And I can tell you, no. Do I have any proof? No, but I know that just from watching you all.
Well, and you have me saying it.
Right.
And
there you go.
Yeah. And no, that, see, I think it's important if, folks listening in that almost everybody involved has other interests, other commitments, and so they would only be involved in this if it was something of integrity. And I've met few people who have more integrity than Rick Lagina. I mean,
I've heard
Scott
that.
Barlow and Laird. It goes on. It's really everybody. And so otherwise, why would I do it? I've got a university career. I publish papers.
Exactly.
I have Yeah. It's so that's
like
Laird's
got his archaeology permits and licenses, and Steve's a crown surveyor, and there's reputations on the line here too.
And not only that, everything's done by permit. Everything is done by the book, and that is a very, very that is a strict line. Nobody crosses that line, and so it's interesting that way. There's none of it's the straight goods.
And we understand. We feel that. We believe that watching the show. If you truly watch the show and you get into it, you believe that. I'm going to bring up another. This is a gentleman who is one of our. He's one of my part-time co-hosts, and he actually lives very, very close to Oak Island himself. Colin Jamieson. Colin, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, sorry for. But thanks for letting me sneak in with you guys.
No problem. I appreciate it very much. And introduce you to Ian, Dr. Spooner here. I don't know if you two have ever met.
I think I can actually throw a rock at Scott's place is where I am. So.
Oh.
Well, actually, you wouldn't have to throw it too far tonight. Just kind of lob it up in the air, and the wind will take it.
The wind will take it tonight. The wind will take it tonight. But it's not. I was expecting crazier tonight, and I'm sure it's going to get crazier. Hopefully, the eastern side of the province is going to get it harder than us. But so far, so good. I'm right on the ocean here, and I certainly can't see Oak Island. It's pitch black out right now, but the bay is not too bad at this moment. Anyway, it's starting to pick up.
I've just heard our first couple of gusts here in New Brunswick. Just kind of lifted my ear like this, and I could hear the first couple rustling through the trees outside. So it's coming, but it's early. I think we're a few hours away yet.
Yeah. The big thing we're worried about down here is all the orchards, the fruit growers, and the grape,
apple trees especially.
Yeah, the apple trees, and folks have had a wonderful year down here, bumper crop, and to get kicked in the rear end by this is super unfortunate. So hopefully it won't be nearly what they predicted, but who knows? I have a feeling. I've often said, "Oh, it's another storm." They sold out of cheesies. Everybody goes and gets craft dinner cheesies. And there's the joke in Mahone Bay that the liquor store is all out of beer and all out of liquor, but there's still lots of wine because they just don't drink a lot of that down on the South Shore. I'll leave that one for Colin. No. But all that said, I think this might be a little bit more substantial. It's just kind of lull before the storm right now. I guess the quiet before the storm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think you're right. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Colin, you got all your boats out? Everything's tied down?
Yeah, I did. I'm actually, I mean, there was a ton of boats as I've had a boat launch right at the end of my property. And so there's been dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of boats come out here this week, but I'm shocked how many people actually left their boats in the cove where I am. Like,
Colin, I left mine in. Mine's on the dock over in Back Harbor at Chester. It's a sailboat, and not much I could do.
It's going to be sailing now.
Yeah. But I was down there. Do you know Butch Heisler, Colin?
Oh yeah, Heisler's.
Yeah, so I'm at Butch's boatyard.
Yeah.
So that's
a super protected spot in there.
It really is. It's a little hurricane hole. So, but who knows what's going to happen? Butch, I said to Butch, I'll come down on Saturday and if things are hairy. And he goes, oh no. He said, I'm closing the windows and I'm going to open them back, closing the drapes, and I'll open them back up Sunday morning. We'll see what we have. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm hoping come Sunday morning. If tomorrow's going to be crazy in the morning, but I'm hoping on Sunday morning I'll put one of the smaller boats in and do a little tour of the shore. I know the last hurricane we went out and did a rip afterwards. There was some carnage on the last one, and the last one wasn't that bad either. But this could be
Well, this one's going to be wider and longer, right?
Yeah.
Like I've never seen that much of a warning issued throughout Atlantic Canada.
No.
Really, on a particular storm to cover that much distance or square mileage, whatever you want to call it.
Jeff, I got a question for all of our American brothers and sisters out there. Is storm chips a maritime thing, or is that an American? Have you ever heard the term storm chips?
No.
No,
I haven't.
No, I think that's a maritime thing. Yeah.
It must be
storm chips. I got my storm chips.
Yeah.
I got it right at that place that sells the chicken. You know, the fried chicken there, that little gas station. I got some chicken too, by the way.
Oh man, don't do the chicken.
My heart's straining right now.
I was going to say you're still all right. You're still talking. I'm impressed.
Yeah. I got my storm chips though, for sure. You have to have your storm chips. Where would you be without them?
See, now I don't have a clue. Okay, you got to tell me now.
You could not buy a bag of potato chips this afternoon in the province of Nova Scotia or probably anywhere in the Maritimes. They are literally, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you said,
chips, bottled water, and toilet paper gone.
Storm chips.
Storm chips in there, you never know.
Have your storm chips, yeah.
You know, we had a big winter storm here a number of years ago called White Juan, and it was pretty intense, and shut down the province for 5-7 days. And I lived near a little corner store, and I made it up there. It was like 4 or 5 foot drifts. I was in the corner store; they were actually open, and these two women come in on snowshoes, and they were frozen. They were wet. They come in from I'd say half a mile away. And they loaded up their backpacks with pop and storm chips, and because their husbands sent them out to get storm chips.
That's
so
a maritime thing. That's a maritime.
They went on snowshoes. I could not.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Now that's dedication right there to get your storm chips.
Maritimers are crazy.
Oh my goodness! I'll have to remember that now. So when I do get out there, I'm going to have to go to the store and say, "You guys got any storm chips?" and see what they say. Of course, there has to be a storm.
Look at you and say, "There's no storm. Why do you want storm chips?"
Exactly.
It's funny too when you said the liquor stores. It'd be out of beer and liquor, but it's on all the wine. That's That's another maritimeism right there. If you ever heard.
Yeah. Here it's bread and milk and toilet paper. Yeah, that's what we. When we got a big storm coming in, everybody goes and the shelf will be empty of bread and milk, and the toilet paper aisle will be completely bare. Everybody needs to have 78 rolls of toilet paper because there's a storm coming. So
because you never know. Because you never know.
Beer and storm chips up here.
Yeah.
Although Scott apparently is living the high life, having bacon wraps collops tonight, so I'm a little jealous.
I'm still chuffed. He didn't invite me.
Yeah, really. That's oh my gosh, yeah. So there's a few others too that I'm going to send an invite out to, several of you. And again, Ian, I appreciate you so much for coming on here tonight. And please stick around as long as you'd like.
I'm going to give it I'll give it about another 10 minutes. We're teeing up the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon Prime soon. So.
All right. What do you have do you have a generator just in case? So you
can that's a maritime thing too.
I was going to say that's that's probably a maritime thing also to have your generator.
Oh, everybody's got their generator.
Oh yeah, everybody's after a few of these winter storms a few years ago. Everybody, when the power was gone for days on end.
Yeah.
Now, do you have the hookup out at your? I don't know. And again, I'm gone from America. Out where your meter is, you got a hookup out there for your generator? No,
it's hillbilly. I got it out and it's in my woodshed, and we got a ton of cords, and you run them in the house, and you hook them up to your freezers, and you
swap things in, swap things out.
Yeah. It's not nearly as organized as.
Yeah. Now you can buy the converter or the adapter you can put on by your meter and do that sort of thing. But where would the fun be in that, right?
Right. Absolutely.
If you're not out there, 3:00 in the morning with a 90-kilometer-an-hour wind blowing branches by your head, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah. And Scott knows me pretty well, and I said, yeah, and what I end up doing is I hook up my water pump to the generator. I just open up the junction box and grab a few wires, and he just goes, oh my God. End up getting electrocuted a few times, but the water starts up. We just filled up the bathtub. That's another thing we do around here. We fill up the bathtub full of water, so you have water to flush the toilets, right?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what Alessandra was saying. I think that's what she said earlier. She said, they're going to bed early tonight. Oh, her son is not feeling well. So she said, we have the bathtub filled, got our storm chips ready, and the cats are all accounted for. So there you go. She's ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Storm chips.
Got to make sure that tub is full.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and you're exactly right, because if you lose water, you got to still be able to flush the toilet. And so, I always keep like several gallon jugs. I drink a lot of iced tea stuff, and I get the gallon jug, and when it's done, I fill it with water and I save it. And that's for the same purpose. You can flush the darn toilet,
Mm-hmm. And drinking water too. There's some people, it's kind of gets a little bit of hairy drinking water, but whatever. We won't get into that.
Yeah. So what's the priorities when you hook up the generator? You can't run the entire house, obviously. So what are your priorities? Your refrigerator, freezer,
keep the beer cold.
Keep the beer cold. Yeah.
After that, everything's a bonus. Everything's a bonus.
The TV.
Beer cold. Everything has to be cooked on a barbecue.
Yeah. Propane.
Yeah.
Yep. So you got your propane filled, and I don't know. I think Maritimers could survive months without power and probably have a really good party to boot. Because everybody wouldn't be working, and you just wouldn't be having bacon wrapped scallops like Scott is.
Yeah, right? Bacon wrapped scallops. Yeah, like Scott's having tonight. I don't know. Scott, you still out there? I don't know. He was there. He's probably busy munching now. He's eating. He got his storm chips and everything else ready to go. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of people here tonight. And again, like I said, this was an opportunity that we wanted to be able to just I wanted to check in on you guys, and I would just appreciate your coming on the show and letting us know how you're doing. And I know that tomorrow might be, I'll probably, depending upon what we find out from the news tonight, as the storm rages through that area, I may come on tomorrow for a little while too, just to kind of follow up. So, and see what, let people know what's going on. Of course, we can all watch the news, but again, I like to come on and just talk with everybody and keep track of our friends. And you guys are all of our friends up there, and we really appreciate you so much. All three of you guys, quite honestly, and the rest of the team, and Alessandra and the folks that we have met, Karen Publicover, all the folks that we've met up in that area, Dale Carney, that have been very good friends to the show and to our group, has been fantastic. And we just like to know that you guys are okay, because during a time like this, it's certainly, you just hope and pray that everything is going to be okay. Dr. Aaron Taylor, as a matter of fact, he we checked with him today too, so he may be stopping by a little bit. And Laird Niven said, I didn't hear from Steve Guptill. Steve, he read the message. I have a thread that I use with Steve and Laird together because the last time I had them on the show, they came on together. But Steve never responded. So, but Laird did, and he said he would. Yeah. So what's Steve doing? Is he busy these days too, or?
No comment.
Okay. So
yeah, no, Steve. I think one of the things this time of year is, I think Steve's working 7 days a week.
Oh.
And just on data, and like, he's super important person in this whole endeavor, and so I think he's just tired.
Oh my, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, he's just so much data has been coming in. So that's my guess. Or he might have come down in the valley too, because he has a house down, but not far from me really, and just to make sure everything's fine during this.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. I didn't want to be, I knew you guys would all be busy getting boats out of the water and getting everything battened down, so that you're ready for the storm to come through there. Every time that you see down in Florida when they have a hurricane, you get to see all the plywood stores are empty because all the plywood is being nailed up on their windows and everything. When something like that is happening up there, and I haven't seen anybody worry about plywood up in your area, so apparently that's not too much of the case with that high wind.
I got some family members in Canso, and they were up. They literally had the bank all plywood closed down in Canso.
Really? Yeah. It's going to be bad. It's going to be a lot worse up there, though.
Yeah, Canso's going to be right in the heart of it, I think. Yeah.
We, tomorrow morning, once it kind of clears, and the roads are clear and it's not death and destruction to drive around, I'll send a couple of pictures of the island from Western Shore side anyway. And,
okay. Appreciate that.
See what things look like in the morning. Usually there's a beach called Hurdles Beach down at the other side of Lunenburg. It's really open ocean. So for the big surf, it's one of the best places to see some crazy ocean. So I'm hoping if the roads are passable, do a little road trip down the shore, and as long as it's safe, and I'll send some pictures throughout the morning on that.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yeah, because like I said,
we're all the camp.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to be head for the camp in the morning. We've got a lot of big oak and maple trees in very, very close proximity to the camp. So you kind of drive up over the hill and you just kind of peek out over the dash to see what's there. So we'll see what happens over there tomorrow. The docks and everything will be fine. We've got enough anchors on them; they'll never go anywhere. So.
Well, and that was something when I was watching the Tancook Wharf there, Island Wharf, on the stream. There was seven, looked like fishing boats, 7 fishing boats. They were on the safer side of the wharf, obviously on the inside of the wharf. But there were 7 boats tied up there. And then here come a larger one came in. I'm like, where is he going to park? Cause the whole wharf is busy. But I'm thinking, man, wouldn't you want to take your boat out? Wouldn't you want to get it out of the water during
those big boats? You can't, and there's lots of fishing left, and that's big breakwater out off Tancock. I mean, those guys have been out doing that stuff for a long time. So if there's guys that are pros on tying boats up and where to put them and which way the storm's coming, I always have pretty good handle on it.
Yeah, point them in the right direction, get them on the leeward side, and
the leeward side. That's what you call that, right? I called it the safe side. Get on the safe side. So
tomorrow morning is going to be at least down here, I'll say, like in the Mahone Bay, Oak Island, Chester area, is going to be, I think 8 o'clock ish is high tide, and that's going to be just in the other half of the peak storm and surge and stuff. So the good news is our tides, this particular tide is a lower high tide, if that makes sense. It's not one of the
depends on the moon. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I'm not floating in the morning, which would be great.
Yeah, because you're right on the water there. I mean, how you're like what, 20 feet from the water or something like that?
5 or 10 feet. We're right here. So anyway, we're protected. I'm in a cove, and there's an island where Scott is in kind of front. So I kind of get some fairly good protection. I don't get the big sea swell. I mean, the Oak Island itself will get some pretty big crackers out there. I remember I was telling a story, I think one of our previous shows, and Ian, you would know this place quite well, the Island View restaurant.
Absolutely,
It was a huge, big, I can't remember what year it was. It was a few years ago. There was a big hurricane storm came through. And on the Island View, they got those huge, big granite boulders kind of on the breakwater on the other side.
Right.
It actually rolled one of them, or a couple of them up, but one of them was rolled right up against the side of the
Island View.
the island view. It's one of those things like you got to see it to believe it. If you go there and you're having an ice cream, and you look down at these massive boulders and you're thinking, Jesus, you know,
if you've never been around the shore in a storm, you just can't appreciate how much power's there until you see it.
I couldn't imagine that.
The big problem around here is people go down to the shore when they shouldn't, and then
exactly
bad things happen. And so I'm glad to hear. I think they've got security out at Peggy's Cove just to keep people away because it's such a dangerous spot, you know.
Yeah, there's no wave worth that kind of risk.
And there's no sense in common sense.
Because once you're sucked in, you're not coming back out. Like you're going with the water. You're gone.
Yeah.
What'd you see, Ian? You were looking at the chat there?
Yeah, well, I was just looking at fish and chips. Best in the area. You know what I like from the island view is I get a chocolate milkshake, no syrup. You know, just the ice cream and the milk.
Yes.
Very good. I love the island view. They've added 10 pounds to me over the last few years.
Always talk about scallops and French fries and chips.
I know. I'm
break and go for lunch.
The chocolate milkshake is my go-to for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, here we are worrying about the storm, and now heck with that. I'm thinking about food now.
Anybody hungry? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys got all the good stuff up there. I'm gonna have to. I got to get up. I had every plan to go up there this year, and for whatever reason, I was June, and then it got pushed to July, and then it got pushed to. Well, August was kind of out, and in September, and I'm still here. I am. I'm actually in Kansas now, of all places. And Linda, the main admin to our Facebook group, and out there guiding me along and yelling at me, telling me to, what to do here all the time. I love her dearly, and she lives right around the corner. I had to come out and meet Linda, so I came to this area on my way back from Utah and stopped in her neck of the woods here so I could meet Linda in person. Been working with her for like 2.5 years now. So yeah, and she's been feeding me. I got chili in here. I got noodles and chicken in here. And she's been brownies and cookies, and I got all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a skinny guy, but I tell you what, I'm putting the pounds on myself.
Yeah, well, I'm not, and it's that South Shore, in the old days we had Moe's there too. And fried food, boy. Whoo. But anyway, yeah.
How often do you guys go over the Mug and Anchor still? Do you go over there very often?
Oh, yeah. I go there because we at Acadia, where I teach, we also have a university property on Heckman's Island, which Colin might know, and so I have to take care of this university property. It's got a house on it, and so I always drive by the Mug and Anchors. I mean, I love the South Shore. I'm not a Nova Scotian. I came here in '94. I figure it was one of the best things that ever happened to me was coming out east. Just meeting wonderful people, and it's just a whole different lifestyle, and the South Shore is especially kind of special place, right? So yeah.
I always hashtag everything with love where you live. It's funny. People are like, it's summertime. You're going to go on vacation somewhere. And I'm telling you, this place is like,
where would you go?
It really is. I know, I don't know. I'm very biased, but it is one of the most beautiful places on the planet you'll ever be. I mean, if Ian, you're a sailor, and I mean, you go cruise around the islands down here, it's just like.
I've lived in Bahamas. I've sailed in Grenada. I've sailed all over the world pretty well. And Mahone Bay is probably one of the nicest places. I grew up sailing in Lake Ontario, Thousand Islands, that area. And I mean, it was my dream. My dream was to come here. My nightmare was to be nothing against it, but my nightmare was to be in the prairies where I could never sail. Right. And so when I got the job at Acadia, with Mahone Bay only 50 miles away, it was like, oh, now I got to get a boat. And so yeah, I feel I'm really super lucky to be here.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, so I've got to see it. I've got. Colin's looking up and around. Must be hearing some winds. Oh,
we got a huge gust, and I heard I got some big cracks and creaks and something going on.
Yeah, we're getting it up here. The wind's picking up big time up here in Grand Prairie. You can just hear it at the house. We have an old house, and it's starting to shake around a bit.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, so I got to go get that generator going, get her fired up, and make sure, because we've got to keep the internet going so that we can watch Lord of the Rings, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
We've got our priorities around here.
Yes.
But, I'm going to sign off in a few minutes.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything.
Yeah, we can take a look. Let's see. I know there's been a lot of chat has just been flying by. There's well over 100 people here watching right now, and I appreciate you folks for coming in. Thank you very much for that. I am going to scroll back here a little bit. Somebody asked about a name, but I wasn't sure. Let's see. Where did you come up with that name? That was Navy Dog Adventures, but I'm not sure what name that he was referring to.
Oh, the Spoon Dog name?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, was that Jack that did that?
That was Jack. Jack did that to me. Yep.
That's one of those great moments you never get to live down now, isn't it?
No, yeah.
No matter what.
Thanks, Jack. Even the students in my class, hey, Dr. Spoon Dog. I go, no. But yeah, Jack's great.
Oh yeah, here's one of the folks in chat. Hey, dog, what's up?
yeah. Who is that?
Yeah.
It's Dr. Dog, not just dog.
That's right.
Yeah, if you're gonna say it, get it right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
But at any rate, yeah, I'll just from my perspective, I mean, just getting right to what's being done there this year. I don't know. I think it's been a really, really good year, and I think I mean, there's just not enough time left. That's the biggest sort of thing that take home for me right now. There's not enough time left to get all the things that are taking place finished. So there's a little bit of I think a sense of urgency and I wouldn't say panic, but because
if they don't get everything done, that just means we'll see a season 11.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know. You never know, right? But it's just when you get so close, but you're still not there. That's
there was a question here from Wade Buckle asked, did they take the crane down?
Did they lower? I think they lowered the boom on the crane.
Kind of lay it down and get it out.
Yeah, they do that pretty well every night, anyways, just to be safe, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they don't want any more ospreys building that.
Yeah, osprey bringing a net, building a nest in it.
Yeah,
they're all done for the year anyway. But
I'm going to bring up Dale. Dale here is Dale's another one of my part-time co-hosts. We appreciate Dale, and he's doing the Christmas Daddies fundraiser again this year for Christmas Daddies. And you're over by where are you at now, Dale? Where'd you move to?
We're in Amherst, right on the border of New Brunswick.
Okay, yeah. So have you met Ian Spooner before? Here's Ian.
No,
Ian,
I've seen the signature.
Hey, Dale, I'll be out there next Friday, Saturday.
Oh, cool. In Amherst.
I'll be at the Beaubassin Research Station?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be there with students on Friday and Saturday.
Oh, cool.
And, so if you're in the area, you should text me.
I'll be at my store.
What's that?
Yeah, they got a store. He's got a Maritime Tartan store over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're right next to the old Margolians.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Dale's got some nice stuff too, because I came home with a truckload of
it. I haven't been up there yet, but I want to go. I do have a few of the things, but and we talked about Dale and his wife Sherry having the fundraiser again this year for Christmas Daddies.
Last year was 24,407, and we want to beat it.
That's crazy. Yeah. And
so
you guys
now,
all signed it.
Now I'm $145 away from 5,000.
Wow.
All I know is you had to write my name 20 times this week, Dale. I bought my share.
Yeah, we wrote it every ticket so far, so they're all in for the draw.
Nice.
Yeah. So last year, Ian, there was two hats. There was a yellow one and a pink or a purple one that where everybody signed a hat. And everybody signed them. Yeah. And those went really well. Those were for the fundraiser. And Linda ended up with one of the hats, Linda Sampson, our main admin, and she actually donated it back this year. So it's back in the running to be won by somebody else for this year. And what a deal. I mean, that somebody offered you a bunch of money for that, didn't they?
I got offered $5,000 for the hat, and the crib board I got offered $5,000 for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rick gave me a crib board. It's made from wood from the money pit, He made it. He signed it. It's apparently, from what they tell me, there's only 25 in them, and they're all given to theorists, and that's it. So this is pretty special.
Super cause is a great cause. That's for
It's
sure.
a great cause. Every $100 donated helps one child in need at Christmas. And Christmas Daddies has been doing this for about 59 years now. And we're hoping for a big year this year because there's going to be a lot of kids in need with everything's going on with COVID and storms and everything like that. So we hope to raise a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, if there's any way I can help, if there's anything I could get down the island, get people to sign.
We got about 15 items now that are up there, and they're all signed, and really cool ones too. Like we got a hard hat that's even signed by Dan Blankenship.
Yeah,
we have,
that was from Vanessa. Vanessa
from
Rock Equipment Company. She donated the hat, a hard hat. It's a white hard hat that was signed by everybody that was right there at that time. I think this obviously was a few years ago with Dan signing
it. Dan signed it.
Yeah, Dan signed it and Dave signed it, and and Rick and Marty signed it. Marty. There's a bunch of signatures on it, and it's pretty special. It's an older one, like Jeff was saying. It's a really special item.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to sign off, folks.
Okay.
It's 9:16 here, but
yes, sir.
Nice meeting, Colin. It's nice to meet you, and Dale. And
good to see you again, Ian. You get back up around Poley, give me a shout.
I will.
We'll be down in Back Harbor tomorrow. Check on the boats for you.
To let me know. My boat's called Cymbidium. If you see it floating by, just send me a quick text. Nothing I can do, but
yeah. And if the text starts with Ian, are you sitting down?
Yeah, that'll be bad.
But I'm fully insured, so who knows? Maybe we'll see where it all goes. At any rate, nice meeting everybody.
Thank you, sir, for coming by tonight. Appreciate you very much, Ian.
See you.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
All right.
Oh, I'm getting asked, what's the website? The website's christmasforthekids.ca.
Yeah, christmasforthekids.ca. Yeah.
And you hit
we have that. We linked it. It's in the description. Well, I don't have it in the description of this particular show, but it is out there. So
Linda
Ian
didn't sign the hard hat.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Linda just made a note there that the pink hat that she donated back, Ian signed that himself. So
yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you've seen the man himself. The spoon dog.
Yep.
That was
All right.
awesome.
So let's take a look at how's things where you're at right now, Dale.
Quiet. It's quiet.
Really?
It's raining and breezy, Sherry said.
I just had a big gust that actually blew the front door of my house open. So that's what what was there a few minutes ago. Now we've got the door locked. It doesn't open up again.
We had to we took about 2.5 feet out of the pool because there's supposed to be a ton of rain coming our way.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and we've been cleaning up around the house and tidying everything up. And we closed our store today. Our store's closed tomorrow because of the weather. We're supposed to get winds here up to 120, I believe they said.
Oh, yeah, wow. I see a lot of places in Nova Scotia have already pre-announced that, like, just forget it, folks. We're not going to open tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's, maybe they could, maybe they couldn't open, but can your staff get there is the big thing, right?
That's the big thing. I wouldn't want to see.
You want them to be out there trying, that's the other thing too.
No, we closed all of our locations in the Merritt, like in Newfoundland, PEI, and Brunswick, and Nova Scotia for the weekend. So,
crazy part is some parts of Newfoundland and over in the Labrador, the resulting moisture is going to be snow. Eh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Normally, you think of a hurricane or a tropical storm as all rain, but the way the winds are going to wrap around the north, it's going to pick up that cold air and turn it to snow.
It was cold today, and it's weird with a tropical storm that is cold.
Yeah, exactly the same thing here. I was thinking the same thing tonight.
I remember
normally you get that warm, moist air.
When Hurricane Juan came in Halifax, it came in warm, and the day after was like a sauna for most of the day. And this is just weird. It's cold out. We have a fire on in our living room here.
Yeah, we got the fire on too. Although I thought it was a reasonably mild day here. It wasn't too bad. But got fire on for ambiance anyway.
Yeah, you got to have the ambiance for sure. I got a fake one over here. I can turn that on. It's electric and it looks like a fire, but
Someone wants to know if I have storm chips. No.
It's storm chips.
No, I don't.
What?
I have arrowroot cookies. I love arrowroot cookies. So that's my storm chips.
storm.
I got chips and salsa today, but that was for a different show. I guess I got the wrong thing.
Oh, chips and salsa. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's good.
I do have about 4 or 5 cases of East Coast lifestyle chips made by Cover Bridge down at the store.
Nice.
I didn't bring any home. I should have.
I'm going to show this real quick. Oh, I hope I didn't just lose it. Oh, it's buffering. Oh, here we go. I want to bring this up real quick. This kind of shows, I think this is, whoops. Oh, I lost my link. Hold on a second. I'm so prepared for this. Here we go. And boom, there we are. Okay, so this is showing kind of what's happening right now. And you see the wraparound happening, going around over on this side. So rain and wind, but, honestly, and that can be, they say the worst side of the storm can, on the front side, it can be really bad, but it looks like the major part of it is going to miss you guys, and go right into St. John's and all of that. So I don't know.
This is about the point right here where you're at now. Is where that storm is going to take the left. It's not going to keep going in that northeasterly direction.
Yeah, it's been
It's going to actually turn and go northwest. When normally what we see is they all go out to the right, to the northeast.
Oops.
But this one's not going to do that. It's going to make a left turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to hit landfall right hammer on Canso and going into
Canso. Yeah,
now they're saying tonight it's going to go by close to Sydney.
Yeah.
They don't know really where it is yet. My sister lives but 20 minutes outside of Sydney in a place called Waterford, and her winds tomorrow and tonight are going to be, I think it was 150 I saw the last one.
Yeah, that's what they're predicting up in that range. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So she's hunkering in her basement.
It's not, it's what that, who's the comedian? I think it was Jeff White had said, keep in mind, folks, it's not that the wind is blowing 100 miles an hour. It's what the wind is blowing at 100 miles an hour.
My neighbor's getting a metal roof put on his house, and when I came home today from closing up, all his metal roof was sitting in the yard with about 4 little 2x4s on it. I said, I went over. I said, I don't think so. So we ended up putting, I went up and put a bunch of sandbags on them. He just moved here from Ontario. Has never been through a hurricane.
Yeah, Darlene Doogie said that there's a transformer on fire and 1,500 customers without power near Kentville. I'm not sure where Kentville is. Where's that about?
That's very close to where Dr. Spooner and those guys are.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
We live. There's a big transformer outside of our house here, so I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Nova Scotia power outage map that they have, and I'm just looking at it. It's not too bad actually. There are some sporadic outages, but they're talking like.
Can you send me that link? I'll bring it up on the screen here. If you can send that to me, sir, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, they're all over this storm, EMO and everything like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's power crews coming in from
New
Quebec
Brunswick.
and Ontario.
I saw them come through town today with power poles. One truck had about 6 of them on it.
Yep.
So they're prepared for this one.
Western New Brunswick is supposed to get some gusts, but it's not going to be. So they'll pull the crews from Western New Brunswick, and northeastern and eastern and south and southeast New Brunswick are supposed to get the brunt of what we're going to get. But it's not going to be anything compared to what Nova Scotia is going to get.
Moncton's going to get some too, apparently.
I will tell you, the last 10 minutes, it's starting to get real greasy outside now.
Funny guy. I haven't had a breeze here since the last one I heard.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Yeah. So this is the power outage map. Whoops, I'm scrolling in too fast. There we go. So yeah, it shows. I guess these points here are the ones.
If you hover over it, it'll tell you what.
Oh, okay.
And you can zoom in and everything like that.
Click on it, I should say. It'll tell you what.
Okay, here we go. Number of affected customers, 562. Number 9, that's number 9 outage. Well, there's one clear up here. That's 800.
That's the big one. That's 1,700 and some people up there.
And then up here where it's a little worse, probably. Oh, fewer than 5. Not too bad there. And then number 8.
It's not hitting Cape Breton yet.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
Halifax has really bad power too up there.
Really?
It goes out with everything, and they blame it on everything: sea smoke, sea fog, seagulls, salty seagulls. You name it.
Yeah, I was just looking at the New Brunswick power outages, and there are none in New Brunswick yet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's early. It's early. Like this thing is 3 or 4 hours away from getting going.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what I kind of worry about too a little bit, because right now you guys are just seeing the very beginnings of this happening, and again, prayers that it doesn't get much worse. And hey, John, how you doing?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
I know you had your show with Court tonight. How did that go?
History Hunters went great. We about an
Cool.
hour and 10 minutes, and Tom was there, and you were there, and a lot of support, and it's going to be a good one. So we're looking forward to it.
So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
want to say that you guys can check that out. That's that's the name of the YouTube channel is History Hunters.
No, it's on Court Lindell's.
It's still under
Lindell's
Court
channel.
Lindell.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So
check it
Court
out.
Lindell, if you want to check that out, and History Hunters, you going to have a regular schedule for the show now? Or?
Well, we're still debating it. We like this kind of time slot. It's pretty good, so we might stick with Friday nights.
Cool.
And it'll be like Jake's show, go an hour and a half, and a lot of questions. We presented some material, and then a lot of questions. So a lot of people got to interact with Court and myself, and it was great. So
cool. That's awesome.
Very, very appreciate the shout out.
Yeah, no, I love that. You guys invited me to come for your inaugural, hello, and I really appreciate that very much.
Oh, it's awesome.
So thank you for
great having you there.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was great.
I did want to say that Karen Publicover was going to try to be on tonight. She was going to give us a update, boots on the ground right there. I mean, you can't get much closer right there. Well, besides Colin, I don't know. You guys are both pretty close.
No,
but
Karen beats me. She's literally on the island.
She's right there. She's right there.
Yeah. Karen's got
Karen,
Oak Island
trips
from the
coming
other
off
side
her
of
front
the
steps.
causeway.
She lands on the causeway. So
yeah, exactly. So Karen has her Facebook page, Oak Island from the other side of the causeway, and she was going to join us here tonight also and give us a little update, but she cannot get the link to work for some reason. So anyway, we appreciate she's chiming in the chat. I just had a little blurb brought up them. Let's see. What does it say here? It said, I wouldn't want to be in Sydney for this. Oh, okay.
No.
We were there fly fishing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There was very little water in the rivers. That's about to change.
Yeah, they're getting about 200 millimeters of rain down there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rain.
That's crazy. Looks like we got a few. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is supposed to hit as a Cat 2, correct?
It's
still...
it's coming in as it was a 4, now it's down to a 3, and it's going to hit land as a 2.
Jeff, could we pull up something I sent you to
Yes.
your and just what a Cat 2 looks like? Because you're gonna have at some point some power outage.
Hey
somewhere.
Jeff, I just had a donation for 150, so we're at $5,000 for our fundraiser.
That might have been Jan. Jan said she was going to donate tonight.
Yes, it was. I didn't want to name her, but yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry. She said, "I'm going to make you go over the 5,000." She said it just about
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I can't update the number because I can't get into my website for some weird reason. So,
all right. Okay. So I got this one up here. All right. Let's bring this up real quick. All right. So we got that.
This is Cat 2.
Yeah. So Cat 2, 96 to 110 mile an hour winds, siding and roof damage possible. Many trees snapped or uprooted, which is kind of what we're worrying about here. And of course, power outages, and those trees take out lines quite often, or cars, or whatever.
That could be a possibility for Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it was actually still a Cat 4 a few hours ago. It was supposed to fall to a Cat 2, and they were thinking might even not fall below a Cat 3 before it gets close to shore.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they said it's a 3, and then as soon as it hits the land, it's going to be a 2. A very strong 2, though.
And that's moving along. If it's a Cat 3, that's
and this is a 12-hour event, which has got me spooked.
Yes,
yeah,
a lot
it's
of
going to stall. Yeah, it's moving. I think they said this afternoon it's moving like at 56. The storm itself was moving like at 56 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, Caitlin said 56.
But once it gets close to shore, it's going to stall.
Yep. So we're going to get a lot of wind and a lot of rain.
I think that's where that twisting comes from.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to hit whatever systems are buffering up against it, and it's going to twist sideways.
And apparently, I was looking at the maps earlier. There's a couple of spaghetti models for Gaston to come this way.
What?
The other hurricane is up there.
Oh, is that the one that's going up through? They're going to schedule to go through Florida in a couple of days?
It's another one. There's 6. There's 5 in the Atlantic right now.
So,
but if you look at the map, there's Environment Canada has their hurricane map. You can bring that up. Or no, it's NOAA. Sorry, they have their hurricane map. You would look at that. There's 5 systems out there right now. It's crazy.
Water is the ocean temperature is really warm here.
Yeah.
Like as of late, it was like when we were out in the boat, I've got like a temperature sensor on my sonar, and it was reading just shy of 21 degrees Celsius in the cove.
Wow.
That's warm.
That's room temperature.
Well, that's
bath water.
That's the problem, is because typically it's about 4 degrees warmer than it normally be. So as it leaves the warm water and hits our cold water, it normally loses power. But of course, the water's so warm, it's actually generating more power the further that it's coming up. Hence, they say this is going to be such a low pressure because it's hauling it down to the, like, kind of pushing it down to the water because it is so warm. So anyway, it'll be exciting later tonight. I'm definitely happy I live here and not in Cape Breton.
No,
Cat 3 is devastating damage. I mean, that's it's going to be wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's like you say, it's a sustained wind, right? It's not a gust.
Correct. It's a sustained
wind. And it has to sustain that wind for more than 1 minute at a time.
Their winds in Cape Breton, where my sister is in New Waterford, their sustained winds are 100 tonight.
Wow.
And then gusts to 150. I was just checked it out online a second ago.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. It's the simple fact that you have that sustained wind with the ground being so saturated, and that constant sustained wind eventually
And our trees have all the leaves on them.
Yeah, and that makes it worse, because there's more for the wind to push on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But 12 hours is not going to be good.
Well, kilometers, it's 178 to 208, and that's humming. I mean, that's some strong wind.
Yeah.
And the fact that there might be devastating damage. I mean, even a low Cat 3, it's going to cause some major damage for sure.
I think the worst that we've ever had here was a verging on a Category 1.
Wow.
So this is, to my understanding, I think that was.
Is this the biggest
we've had?
Is this the strongest one that's ever hit the Nova Scotia area?
This is the strongest hurricane that's ever hit Canada.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was predicted to be, one of the largest storms, and most powerful storms to hit Canada in general.
This is equivalent to Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the storm surge supposed to be like? Has anyone heard about the storm surge?
We have a storm surge warning in our area, and we're not even close to the water. So
up on the side of Cape Breton, they're saying that they've got 15-meter waves pushing ahead of the storm.
Yeah.
So that's 45-foot waves that are going to be.
Crazy.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and they figure anywhere from 8 to 12 feet in surge.
Yeah.
Is what I heard earlier. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you get a rising tide, even though, as Colin says, it's not going to be a high tide, you think wherever your water is right now at high tide, the water is going to be anywhere from 6 to 12 feet higher vertically than that. Mm-hmm. And the water just doesn't sit as a square block, right? It moves to the point of least resistance. It's going inland.
I might be here in the morning, and I may not be here in the morning.
Oh, you'll be there.
Well, you're getting gale force winds.
You'll be there.
Get your squeegee and get out there.
Well, I was saying I got the boat actually on the hard in the yard, so if it gets really greasy, I'm just going to go sleep in the boat.
Yeah, I've got my little aluminum boat already on the hitch on my truck. If the wind blows through, it's going to have to take the truck with it.
See, our local news too, CTV is going to start at 6 a.m. tomorrow and broadcast straight through.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll probably have them up too. And if like I said, we're going to kind of watch and see what happens overnight tonight. I'll probably come back on in the morning and, help everybody understand what's happening up there anyway, as much as I can. But we'll bring up that CTV and we'll kind of watch that along with them. Mm-hmm. Tony is about ready to log in here too. I see he's working on it. He has been one busy man, as you can imagine, with some of the others out there trying to get boats out of the water. He's got his Salty Dog Sea Tours, trying to get boats out of the water and get everything ready. Plus, I'm sure he's been helping with everyone else. The man does seem like he's always helping everybody else, all of his friends and neighbors and everybody else as well. So, but he should be popping in here any minute. And then we've got a couple other folks from the area that haven't been on the show before. I've sent links out to them, so hopefully we'll see them pop in here. Alessandra Nadavari said her son is not feeling well, so she will not be on. She was going to pop in with us too and give us a little update up in her area, which is up in town there.
Mm-hmm.
Charing Cross, is that it used to be Charing Cross years ago? Is that right, John? Oh, John's working on something. Let's see. So okay. Oh, no. Let me. Yes, I did. Let me send that over to him too as well. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Tom sent a picture also. Oh, what's this here? Let me bring this up.
That's the one that CNN I was playing earlier tonight. So it's a storm big enough in Canada that CNN is covering it. So
wow.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's major. That's major.
It was on the BBC.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, my daughter told me.
Yeah, let's bring this up. Yeah, there it is there. So yeah, if CNN is covering it, it must be pretty severe or going to be.
They did the
normally they will follow a hurricane as far as it gets to sort of the northeastern United States, and and I don't blame them. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's where the coverage will end, right?
And there is one busy man right there, Tony Sampson. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good guys. I'm outside in the storm at the moment. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah,
yep.
Yeah. Oh.
So she's blowing about 30 or 40 at the moment. You can't see anything in the background here, but all my boats are out. We've had a crazy couple of days here, pulling boats, Mahone Marine, Shore Cycle. We've managed to clear most of the boats out of the marinas. Oak Island Resort Marina is empty of boats. And we're just all hunkered down. We've got storm chips and a nice storm scotch. And I'm hoping everybody makes it through this. We possibly could lose power for 72 hours, they say. But we don't know. If it's the same as last time, the dice will be rolled and we'll see where it ends up. So to everybody out there, stay safe and hunker down, and we'll see you on the other side. Take care.
All right, sure.
Thank you, Tony.
We're going to be coming back on in the morning more than likely to kind of see what happens after the fact. And if you're around, sir, I know you're probably going to be a busy man like you have been already, I'm sure. But if you're around, I'd love to hear a little report of how things are. Make sure you guys are okay. That's our biggest concern. With the storm coming in there, and we know that you guys had so much to do, but our biggest concern is that everyone is safe. Your homes and your families and all of that. That's what we pray for, that everybody is safe and gets through this without any injury or damage to be spoken of. Now there will be trees down and power outages and all that, we assume, but like I said, our main concern is that everybody is safe. And I appreciate you so much jumping in and coming out here now.
Not to worry, mate. Thanks so much, Jeff. And you just hit the nail on the head. As long as everybody's safe and nobody does anything crazy, then we'll all come through this again. So I'll take care, and I'll see you guys in the morning.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks,
All right. Appreciate you, sir.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yep. There you go. Tony Sampson. And that's the thing is that, you just don't know at this point. You can sit here and try to predict, the storm's not going to be too bad, or it's going north or whatever, but we just don't, once it makes landfall and they can do the prediction. Now they were talking about this storm that's coming across to Michigan and all that right now, and it's pushing, and they're hoping, but it also could make it wrap around, like you guys were saying, where the storm would come up and then actually turn to the left, which would be worse. Because then it's going to be over land a lot more, and that's going to be worse for everybody. But man, I tell you, but that was really cool. And we appreciate Tony coming on and kind of giving us an update here.
He's going to be sleeping with one eye open tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Colin, by the way Colin's looking around the room.
I know. I'm gonna jump off myself. I'm gonna do a little run around and make sure everything's it's starting to make some crazy noises outside, starting to get a little greasy up there. So
all right,
I'm gonna go check things out, and we'll talk to you guys
later.
All
right. Thanks, Colin. Thank you. Appreciate you coming on. I'm trying to find it. I think I
get stuff hit my window.
Really?
Yeah. Whoa. I can hear it now.
Wow. That's strange.
Unless I'm hearing noises.
Yeah, we just had some gusts come through here now too. It's picking up again, so it must be like that in one of the early far out bent. I mean, I'm a long ways away from you guys, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, as a crow flies, it's not that far, but
no.
But
Tom, you're probably getting some feeder bands, right? Some
it's
bands.
yeah, it's starting here now at our place.
Wow.
I'm trying to close a few windows here. I think I accidentally closed Facebook, so I want to try to bring that back up.
No.
Yeah, I was sending out invitations for people to come on, and I think I accidentally closed it. This, like I said, this is one of those shows where it's kind of impromptu, and we decided just to come on and do this. So, here it is. I wanted to bring Laurie. Now we have a special correspondent down in. He's on the south end of Scotia. We'll see if he can make it on here. Let's see.
If anything cool starts to happen out in the Bay of Fundy down around Graham and Ann, my brother's going to send me some photos too that we can share.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. So, let's see. What did you just send over here? Oh, yeah, from Laurie. There he is, Mr. Laurie Wickens. How you doing, sir? So, what's happening down there? Are you staying dry so far? Or?
It's been raining. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
just leaving.
For the people who don't know, where are you actually located down there?
In Southwest Nova Scotia in Shag Harbor.
Shag Harbor. So down there.
UFO country.
Whatever.
Now, everybody you see up here, so a couple of the people you see up here, Tom and Dale, they're both. Tom is in New Brunswick, and Dale is I keep forgetting the name of that town.
I'm in Amherst.
Amherst. Okay, right on the New Brunswick border.
You got it.
Yep.
What's it like there?
Just starting. I'm just saying there's stuff hitting my windows.
We've had some rain, but no heavy shower, no heavy rain, and nothing right here where I am. I guess places around here have, but we haven't. So
our rain just started about 5:00. It just started about between 5:30.
Yeah, it's been raining here off and on afternoon. It's not raining again now, I don't think. I don't hear no wind. I don't hear nothing. So.
Well, from what we were showing, and then this is, we were looking at some of the different maps and whatnot that are out right now. And here's this one here. This was from CNN, and then this was this morning. But they were showing you down, and you're down in this neck of the woods.
Right there, where I got my arrow, right by yours. Yeah.
Yep.
Where we are right now, right there, roughly.
Yep. And so that is where, you guys are hopefully going to get the least of it, of everybody in Nova Scotia area. But the folks up here, that's where I'm really concerned. Cape Breton and all of that. So, but we hope that you stay safe. So is it people taking it pretty seriously though, still around your area?
Well, everybody thought it. Well, everybody's doing the safety stuff, I guess, but other than one thinking about when it last night.
So I know that we were talking with you and John. John actually went out and met you this summer. Got a chance to come out and talk to you a little bit down there. So tell us a little bit about that, John and Laurie. Tell us a little bit about your meetup down there.
Let John start, I guess.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, we got to go to the UFO center that Laurie runs and showed us a lot of his evidence. And I also had this chance to meet the Nudie girls and spent some time at the Five Fishermen with a bit of a ghost investigation or paranormal investigation at the Five Fishermen. So it was interesting, but yeah, the site was great. Laurie has so much evidence and so many artifacts about the Shag Harbor incident, and it was great to see all those artifacts and how they were housed and displayed. It was great. So the visit was fantastic. I have a ton of pictures, which we'll be sharing at some point in the future, Jeff. And we'll have Laurie on, and of course the Nudie girls, and maybe any revelations that Laurie has and updates that Laurie may have in the future.
Yeah, well, I sent you a copy of that. Each one of you got that one from Chris Stiles, didn't you? That he's going to be announcing on the 1st.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyhow, that's all I get. You've got it. You can mention it if you want to. So.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely. I don't have it handy to bring up at the moment. And well, maybe I do. I don't know. Did you want me to talk about it?
And if you want to, it's going to be announced at the conference. So, yeah, he said we can. So,
okay.
Oh, and by the way, there's been John, you seen part of the shipwreck we had, right?
Correct.
And now they found another great big piece that washed out the other day. Hopefully, this storm don't bother it. He couldn't get it. It wasn't enough of it washed out. But
that was interesting. That shipwreck was quite interesting.
Anyhow, it's at least from the 1600s. That's an old fact.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Anyhow, that's going to be shown at the museum on the 2nd. We're going to unveil it so people can come in there and see it. So.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to see that.
You should see this thing, Jeff. It's an amazing. It's unbelievable.
A piece of a shipwreck from the 1600s?
At least to 16.
At least.
That carbon dating we think had, there's been people here that's into that. They say anything that's carbon dated that come out of water could be off as much as 300 years.
Yeah.
And then one of the carbon datings from that was in the 1600s. So you take 300 years back from that makes it 1300.
Wow.
That's going to be interesting. It's going to be.
And what I mean,
it's
John,
it's looking like it's Portuguese instead of Viking just by the way the wood is put together. But
wow.
It was put together with square nails, and the last time they used them was in the 1600s, and wooden pegs.
Wow. So that means it's not going to date past the 1600s. It'll be 1600 or maybe before.
Early 1704 was the last time. So, yeah.
Right.
But
wow.
I would say 1600s or before.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm just.
Now we got to get a big piece of the wood dated, and there's a place in Nova Scotia that can do it, but it's going to take time to get it done, I guess. But they can tell us where the wood come from and exactly how old it is.
Cool. John, do you mind taking over for just a second? I've got to send somebody my number.
Sure. So yeah, and Laurie, will you be giving us any other insights into we were talking this summer about maybe a second place of interest or another place of interest? Are you allowed at this point to talk about that place of interest?
Well, that is it's down off in Shelburne. I guess what? It's a lot of that question here that I sent to you, right? Anyhow, he knows exactly where it is. I don't know. I know. He's told me about it in the site, but yeah, he's got the Navy logs to prove all of what's in that paper. Except for one of you wrote back and said he's got the logbook.
So he has the actual Navy logbooks.
He's got the file that come from them. Yeah, you know how you send it there. They take pictures or whatever. He's got the actual Navy logbook, yes.
Wow, which shows the activity and what the Navy was doing there.
And what that comment that he made is, let me see if I can find it here. I'll read it.
And if I remember talking to you when we were at Five Fishermen's with the Nudie Girls, it predates your sighting.
That was in 1970.
Okay. The logbooks that you...
1960.
Okay. So the logbooks you're going to be sharing at some point predate that, or they are from 1960?
They predate, the 14th of 1960. Our thing was 1967.
That's what I thought.
And the command, here it is here. What is certain is that the command ship stack log records that the mission then assumed DEFCON 1, a state of military readiness that the historians tell us has never happened. On that ship, the name of the ship was the Cape Scott, and the captain or the commanding officer signed off on that log record. Usually they got crew members and somebody's filling in the logs. The commander or the captain of that ship signed off on it. And he's got that. And he's going to show that at the conference.
That would be great to see.
So one of you was asking me what records he has. He's got the names of all American ships. How many crew members? He said, what did he say here? Over 2,000 U.S. and Canadian servicemen know what's on the ships. And I thought he had it low, but he knows how many men was on each ship. And back then, some of them ships weren't that big, and some of them had less than 100 men on them. So, yeah, 19 ships. Anyhow, he knows. Anyhow, he done his research. He's got it all.
It's going to be great. That would be great to share. So, Laurie,
he's going to be talking about that at the conference. In more detail, and he's wrote a book, but it's not going to be ready. It's got to be edited, but it will be out before Christmas.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see it. So, Laurie, what's going on down there? I mean, Jeffrey was asking you nothing really, or feeder bands, or
really, well, you see how quiet it is in here. That I'll go over, check the door open, see what it's like outdoors.
Could you show us? Could you take your computer with you? No, there he goes.
That was for Tony.
and Jeff, it looks like Dale had to run. That he's
Dale said he was getting some lights flickering and things like that, so he wanted to sign off so he could check things. So yeah, we
there's a little bit more wind, no big breeze, but you can hear it a little bit, and there's a rain, but not a heavy rain. Gotcha. Probably 30, 40 mile an hour wind will hold it right here where I am.
Yep. Yeah, we were just looking at some of the power outages around the area, and they don't look too bad yet. There's still quite a few. There's about 12,000 affected customers so far.
Yeah. We had C. Fulton. C. Fulton, just if you could post that, Jeff. Little update on Halifax.
And the wind is coming right there. You can see it blowing the curtain a little bit.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
That ain't no wind really for. And that's the direction the wind's coming from, and there ain't no rain coming in. So, anyhow, I'm going to close it back up.
Okay.
That's our report from Laurie.
Yeah. You were seeing
it was local forecast here, and it looks like, looking at the what we call the channel we watch here, some of this is the Weather Network, and it looks like Mahone Bay is going to start to ramp up here probably in the next 2 hours.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
And they're going to get an average of an inch plus rain per hour for the next 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, that could be devastating.
Right now there's no heavy rain.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. You guys are going to get spared, I think, from the most of it.
Yeah.
For the worst of it.
Yeah. I'm in southern New Brunswick, close to the Bay of Fundy here, Laurie, and it's just basically wind right now. The wind is starting to pick up, but we had a couple of little bands of rain come through, but nothing too strong.
That's all we've had, showers or like little bands of rain, not even heavy falls. So.
It's coming.
The current radar image right there.
Yeah.
The backside of the storm is typically where the rain is, I guess.
So you should give the heads up to that guy, your friend there, that I sent the invitation to for the conference, just to make sure he shows up, okay?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm talking about, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yes, sir. Jeff, I think it's frozen.
Yep. There he moves.
There he is. Jeff, you were frozen.
Yeah, and it's weird to hear. You guys are getting the storm, and yet I'm the one that has the internet issues. So, I've got Starlink. I'm using Starlink here. It was solid all day long. And of course, now when I'm trying to do a show, I'm having an issue with it. But anyway, we got a picture here that John just sent me.
Got another one too.
And this is pretty recent, is it, John?
That's now on AccuWeather.
Or it's happening right now.
Yep.
So there you see
most of the green is gone. It's gone by hour into Nova Scotia already.
Yeah.
And the yellow bands have already passed where we are. So yeah.
Now, if this turns easterly,
wrap around.
You're gonna pick up some more. Yeah, but this is supposed to turn easterly, right, Tom?
Yeah. It's going to go northwesterly from there.
Okay.
So you're going to get the big wraparound. What happens is
the wraparound.
The eye is going to break down, and the storm is actually going to expand.
Wow.
And that's what they call post-tropical.
Mm-hmm.
Post-tropical just means you lose the eye and you lose that circular shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as well defined, but what happens then is, with the other systems alongside of it, it's going to actually make it bigger. And that's what's going to happen overnight.
Yeah, and that's what Jan was just saying too. Jan said you are correct. The back of the storm is usually worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, here's a larger picture of that. And you see that, as this goes up and it moves toward the northwest, you're going to start to all this moisture that it's pulling up out of the ocean right now is all going to come right back into this whole area. And so that's where you talk about those constant winds over time. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, so you see where Fredericton, New Brunswick is there. If you came from Fredericton straight down towards the coast on the Bay of Fundy, that's where I am. Right there.
Oh, right in here.
Right in there. Yeah, that's where I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Tom,
the other guy was there in Amherst, and we're right here. You see my arrow.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't see yours, but I know where you're at. You're right down here in this area.
Right on the point altogether,
Yep.
Yeah, you're down in the Yarmouth area. Yeah.
Yeah, we even below Yarmouth a little. I'm right on the end of all.
Oh, okay.
The end of it all.
Right on the corner where I'm at.
Yep.
Any word of Tom or Laurie? Any word of tornadoes? I mean, I've been through a couple of Cat 2s and
very
a lot of
very
Cat 1s.
rare that you get a tornado that close to the ocean around
Yeah,
here.
I never.
Okay.
We have gotten them in northwest New Brunswick.
Okay.
It's the air's a little drier up there, so when you get a cold air and a warm air mass colliding up above Fredericton to the left, there's been a few up that way. But your worst case scenario down where we are, what they would call those straight line winds, right?
And those can be devastating as well. Yeah. I've seen that myself in Ohio. Yep.
Yeah. No tornadoes. I mean,
no tornadoes here ever that I know of.
Okay. No.
Few hurricanes, but no tornadoes.
Yep. And the ground is very, very uneven. A lot of hills and valleys, so there's not a lot of room for anything to pick up any kind of speed.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, I've been through a couple of hurricanes on the Outer Banks. My family vacationed there when I was little, and when Hurricane Arthur blew through, it was a Cat 2 when it hit, and the house shook, and it was on stilts, and we hunkered down and just kind of rode it out. But it was the eye of the hurricane was within 10 miles of us, and suddenly when the eye is above you, it's still.
There ain't no wind.
There's no wind. It's still, and you can see the night sky. And that happens for maybe 20, 30 minutes. And then you get the backside of the storm.
The other side, the wind's the other direction.
And that's even worse in many cases. So, I've been through a couple of them.
Yeah, I've been in 3 or 4 of them on the ocean, so on all of them.
And they're not pleasant. But usually when they blow in, I'm used to the Outer Banks. You get, I mean, it's warmer, obviously, but you get tornadoes, you get all sorts of damaging winds. And for Nova Scotia, I'm really scared about the flood damage.
Yeah,
exactly. If you have 8 to 12 foot waters, especially in the Oak Island area with the swamp and the whole island being at sea level, the whole island could be underwater. I mean, and you have residents that live on there. You have, David.
The other thing too to consider is when you've got a lot of hills and valleys, right, and your subsoil is primarily shallow, right? It's rock.
Yes.
With all that water hitting, you've got 2 inches of water at the top of the hill. Well, by tomorrow morning, that 2 inches is going to be at the bottom with the other 2 inches that fell previously, right? And that's what causes your brooks and your rivers to fill up so quick because of the rocks and the mountains or hills around it.
But if we get a northwest wind, we shouldn't have the tide surge because that's pushing that'd be going against it on the Oak Island place. Easterly wind on the southern part of Nova Scotia when you get a tide surge, not a northwest one, hopefully.
Let me see. I'm just going to bring up. Oh,
yeah, I see there might be some live pictures from.
Well, yeah, these are from
Karen
just a little bit ago. Let me see if I can bring these over here. This is from Karen. Now, this was when the sun was still up or still light out. This is from Karen Public Cover, Oak Island from the other side of the causeway. And she was showing some
choppy.
photos. Yeah, the water was definitely getting choppy. Oh, there.
Yeah, got them inside very safe.
Yeah, I got to keep them inside very safe. And here's a little video. I'm going to run this real quick and take a look at it. We'll see what's kind of going on here. I don't know if you guys can. Oh, hang on a second. I think it's wrong.
That's the dock right in front of Karen's house. Breeze is up.
Yep. And this was probably about an hour and a half ago, maybe.
It'll be longer than that. It would be dark there at 7:30 at night, and it's 10 o'clock here.
Yeah.
So that's got to be 2 or 3 hours old at least.
Wow. And speaking of Karen, here she is calling in. Hold on.
Whoa.
Hello, this is Jeff. Oh, hang on. Why is it not coming through here? Hold on. Let's try it now. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, there we got you. How are things going, Karen? Thank you for calling in.
No problem. I don't know why I can't hook up, but I've tried.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's wild here. Like I was in the boathouse and went over to the trailer to try it there, but it's still not working. So
Wow.
So just came back to the boathouse, but it's crazy.
Is it really? What's happening?
It's just blowing really hard. Like we've got a 40-foot fifth wheel trailer, so probably similar to what you have there, but it's just a rocking, and it's well braced.
Oof. Yeah, I was really
Yeah,
concerned
yeah.
about that, because I know you park it right there behind the one building there, Tom's, and I thought, oh my goodness, would you be? I thought you might be actually trailering it out of there somewhere else, a little further
Yeah,
inland.
no, we've got it well blocked up. It's like they've got cinder blocks, like 8 stacked
Oh,
under all
okay.
the blocks, like it's permanent. So it's sitting on those, but it is rocking. It's actually better at the boathouse, which blows my mind because we've got 16-foot window across the front on the north side. So.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing that it's this good over here. So we were going to spend the night in the trailer, but now we're thinking maybe here at the boathouse. So we'll see.
Oh, okay.
The storm surge is worrisome.
Yes, exactly. That's what we were just talking about. And John brought that up too, is the storm surge that's going to be happening because you guys are right there at water's edge.
Yeah.
I mean, a
We
foot
fall
or
out
two
your front door, you
up,
fall in
guys
the
are
water.
underwater.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tom, go ahead.
To say when you fall out Karen's front door, you fall in the water.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Not quite that bad, but and we've lifted the boathouse, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it. I expect it will come up.
Yeah.
Pretty high, but hopefully not in.
Yeah. Well, we were just watching or looked at the pictures and the video that you had put on your Oak Island from the other side of the causeway, and the sun was still up, and it was getting choppy then. I'm assuming that by now it's gotten quite a bit worse than that.
Yeah, we've got white caps on the on our dock side, which is unusual, very unusual. You don't get white caps in there. If you get them on the other side. But
right,
yeah, it's blowing from that direction. So that's the direction that Dorian came in as well. So yeah, hopefully it won't be that bad, but we won't know really until I think 3 o'clock in the morning is when it's supposed to peak.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's late. Yeah, for sure.
Now, Karen,
that's the worst part about those too. When they hit overnight like that, you can't see what's going on.
Yes, exactly. That's so true. That is so very true. Now, Karen, they brought something up earlier tonight. They were talking about that I didn't know anything about, and so I have to ask you: did you get your storm chips?
Yes. We've already had some.
I didn't know anything about storm chip. They're like, "Do you know what that is? Is that an American thing?" I'm like, "No, I have no idea. What's a storm chip?"
Yeah, it's a tradition. You have to have your chips on, and they actually Lay's, I think, produces a bag of chips called storm chips. So
my goodness.
They put that on their label. I mean, it's just a regular chip, but it's the storm chip, and I'm sure they sell out of those every time. I don't have that on my label, but I do have chips.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, no, they would be gone off the store shelves now.
Yep.
No, absolutely. I saw on Facebook earlier somebody had written, "I won't eat my hurricane chips early. I won't eat my storm chips early. I won't eat my storm chips early." But like a kid in school.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, I know that you guys probably had to go through a lot of preparation and everything. What did you like? Obviously, with the trailer and that, you guys usually have a boat out and your kayaks and all that kind of stuff too, right?
More than one. We had 3 boats that we had to take out of the water, and all of the lawn furniture or gazebo, and take all the screens off that. I mean, we had a bad storm here on Monday night from the other direction. So unforecasted, and we were away. So a friend was here and said he's never seen anything like it. But yeah, he's here with us now going, okay, yeah, this is similar. And it's just starting. So yeah, I was actually, if I could have got linked up, I was going to go outside and stand and let you guys experience firsthand, but I can't get linked up.
Do your Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel standing out there with your rain suit on in the wind, and you watch the dumpster blowing by on the road, and hanging onto a pole with one arm.
Yeah, I'll hang on to David's sign. That won't protect me. That won't last.
Hang on to one of the cannons right there until it's underwater, and then you'll have to move somewhere else. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
So what did you see happening? What did you see happening on the island today? Was everybody rolling off of there?
They worked this morning. They were all over there early. They worked until about 1 o'clock, and then the whole thing shut down. So everybody left.
Okay.
So I imagine they had to get back for storm prep. And I couldn't help but think about Scott Barlow, because I know I wouldn't want to be away from my family and PEI because they're going to hit get hit pretty hard.
Yes.
So
Yes, and
I wonder about him and his family, because that's got to be tough.
They'll likely shut that Confederation Bridge down too.
Oh yeah, I would say.
Wow.
One of the Halifax bridges shut down earlier. I haven't heard if the second one has yet, but probably.
Wow.
Mm.
Man, oh man. Well, we certainly pray for you guys that you guys stay safe. I mean, okay. So I guess I got some. Is this is live from Peggy? Is it live now? Oh, I guess it is. Okay.
Yeah, it looked like it when I pulled it up. I'm pulling up different cameras and going around just to try to see what's going on. Some of them are frozen because of power or whatever. And it looked, I could see storm surge and rain. And
oh, looks like my internet's jumping a little bit. There we go. So,
right
wow.
on.
Yeah. So everybody's off
Laurie.
the island now. So that's good. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Karen. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, David and his wife are still out there, but they're in the woods. I mean, they're completely surrounded by trees. Don't even see the ocean in their house, so I'm sure they're safe.
Right.
Yeah, they would be fairly elevated too.
storm
So
surge
even if
was
it's
positive.
storm surge, it's not going to bother them probably. Yeah.
No. We've seen other storms where the boathouse has been completely surrounded, so it'll be interesting in the morning.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we certainly pray that you don't get too much damage from this, or injury. Of course, we certainly don't want that to happen. If you want, you can. It's up to you. I'll just throw this out here. I am going to probably come on in the morning and talk about a little bit. And if you don't mind coming on and kind of give us an update of what you see. And again, we'll be praying for you guys all night tonight. Hopefully, you'll have. Well, I don't know the likelihood of losing power. I'm showing.
High.
Yeah, right now I'm showing the Peggy's Cove Lighthouse webcam, and you can see the rain blowing by. And the wind
going horizontal. Yeah.
Yeah, the rain is going horizontal there, so it's and that's really close to where you're at. So,
and we just had a flicker, so I wouldn't be shocked if it goes out. But
wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a generator there at all to help out?
No, our generators are at our winter spot more than here, so we don't. But it's warm. It's not like we're going to freeze or anything. With lots of food and might need a hot coffee, but we got a Coleman, so we'll manage.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I wouldn't know what to do without my hot coffee in the morning. That's for sure.
Yeah, me either.
And that's something, Jeff, that you hear a lot from what Karen just said. You hear that a lot from people around the Maritimes. Well, we got a Coleman stove, we got a barbecue, we're good.
Yep, exactly.
And that's funny because that's what we were talking about earlier. We were just discussing that very thing about the fact that you guys are prepared for this kind of thing. So, on a regular basis, if you don't have your generator, but you got all the provisions you need, you know how to back up. You're not going to, if you get, shut down or snowed in or whatever for several days, you're good to go because you have what you need all the time. Yep.
Yep, exactly. Yep, we're good.
Yeah, you guys have storm chips down here in the States. We have the bread and milk and toilet paper run before a storm is coming. All the shelves get wiped out from all that. There's no toilet paper anywhere to be found. Why people figure they need to have 27 rolls, because their storm is coming in. I don't,
I can't figure that out.
Because you just never know.
Yeah, just never know. That storm really scared the poop out of me. I tell you, I don't know. Oh, I know that was terrible. I'm sorry. But yeah, I tell you what, I really appreciate you checking in with us. I know that
I wish I could have linked up. I would have done on the scene, on the causeway, but no, it wouldn't be safe out there right now. But even on our front deck, it wouldn't be safe out there. Oh. On the backside, it's okay. So yeah, we're good.
Well, like you said, those big windows you have in the front there, looking out onto your dock. I mean,
16 by 8. Yep, the whole front of the building, and then the trapezoid window above, so it's a lot of glass.
Oh, that's what would scare me right there, because that that glass does flex and move during the windy times like that, and it's designed to do that, so it doesn't. If it was too rigid, it would snap and break easily. But still, that's got to scare you a little bit. It would me anyway. I know that.
Yeah, it's not like it's blowing pretty hard in that direction, but it's not flexing right now. It's which is probably good. I don't know. The docks are just a bouncing, but
I betcha.
So the window's not flexing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
They'll
we've got Laurie.
they'll bend an inch without breaking. I see glass buckle an inch, not break. So.
Yep, that's Laurie Wickens. He's down on the south end, down there in the Shag Harbor area, and he's joined us here. He's been on the show a couple times. He's got the museum for the Shag Harbor UFO incident.
Yes.
So
yes,
we had
I was
him
just
come
down
on
for the first time ever a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, were you down in that area?
Yep, down. We were beach glassing actually, but and we drove by the museum. I don't think they were open though when we were through. But yeah, it's a very interesting story.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he was on and shared that with us. So he said, I guess still nothing happening down your way there. Hey, Laurie.
Well, I'm in the lead somewhat, but yeah, around the house there ain't nothing, but there is some rain and a little more wind, but not heavy rain now.
That's good. Yep.
Well, I had the window open. You see how much that was, but yeah, there's probably more than there is by my house if you're out because I'm in the lee of trees, but it's nothing serious as if you have no power flecking or nothing, so.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be all right down there. And I would imagine, too, that, I mean, you guys have several different power grids in the area, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. So, and they're probably, you're pretty used to that, especially in the wintertime, trees coming down and taking the power lines out and all that kind of stuff, just as they are anywhere. But you got a good electric company. Is it one electric company?
Oh, they cleaned a lot of the trees out the last 6, 7 months. They cleaned all the wiring out, so there ain't no trees around the wires, which will be good.
Yep.
Going to help some.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll check in with you in the morning. If you don't mind, Karen, I'll reach out to you.
No problem at all.
And see how you're doing.
I'll be posting pictures.
Okay.
Come daylight because I can't obviously take them now. But
right.
Where it's dark, and the pictures I took, it was really just starting. Mm-hmm. It's really ramped up since then. So. It would be far more impressive if it was daylight, but we'll see what the morning brings. Yeah,
it's looking pretty. Like I said, we're watching the Peggy's Cove Lighthouse right now, and it looks pretty rough. You can see that the wind is getting worse and worse. It's definitely staying sideways right now, which is pretty devastating. So, man, I tell you what. Well, our thoughts and prayers are with you, Karen, and we hope that we see you in the morning. Everything was a few leaves on the ground and maybe a few branches, but we certainly hope you're okay and your husband.
Right on. If we don't have power, I'll try to send you just a private message or a text.
Okay.
Just to let you know how everything is here.
All right. I appreciate that very much. Wow.
All right.
Well, thank you for taking your time out of your evening. And I'll be checking with you. I'm going to stay in touch. I know that it might be really tough to get some sleep tonight, but do your best.
Okay. Will do.
All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Thanks,
I appreciate it.
Okay.
No problem. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
Bye. Good night.
Wow, that's fantastic of her to call in and take some time to
And the good news is she'll have a new crop of sea glass to pick. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, be washed out in some places. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Covered bridge. Oh, storm chips. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, just send me this picture.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It is a real thing. I thought you guys were honestly. I just thought you were joking about that. I didn't really think.
We don't joke about storm chips. We don't joke about that kind of thing.
Just look at that, Jeff. It's amazing. That's live from Peggy's Cove.
That's Peggy's Cove.
I know. It truly is.
And look at that. That's really picking up.
There's your storm.
Oh, there they are. Oh no.
Yep. See the different, all the different flavors, all the different flavors in the same bag.
In the same bag?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. And a kettle cook too. I like that.
Kettle cook. Yep.
What do we got? Oh, we got salt and sea salt and vinegar.
Sea salt and vinegar. Yep.
Probably
ketchup would be one of them.
What's that say?
Would be. I can't read it from here. Just a second. I gotta make it bigger.
They do have ketchup chips there.
Ketchup chips. Yep. Ketchup chips. Sea salt and vinegar.
Okay. Ketchup chips.
Yep.
Jeff.
Smoke barbecue. And
smoke barbecue I can do.
Creamy dill maybe at the end.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, they do have dill.
Creamy dill and now creamy dill I could probably do that. And the sea salt and vinegar, of course, that's almost dill anyway. I could do that. and probably the smoking sweet barbecue. I could probably
Yep.
do that. But the ketchup one, I mean, I like
Ketchup
ketchup
is-
on my fries, but
Ketchup is like a lot like the barbecue. What I see of it, not much different.
Yeah, ketchup chips are a thing here, but I don't think they are anyplace else.
I've never had a ketchup chip. Hey, folks in the chat, have any of you had a ketchup chip?
Oh,
before?
here we go.
Yep, seen them.
Oh yeah. The only thing is, when you're done eating them, you got to go wash your hands because your fingers are all red.
Okay, so Jim Kelgard was on the show here just not a few days ago.
Yep.
Old Dutch kettle chips are the best.
Ketchup. Yep. Old Dutch ketchup chips. Yep.
Ketchup chips. Oh my goodness.
Humpty Dumpty made a good one too.
Oh, there you go. Kat says ketchup chips are so gross.
Okay, so there's one. Okay, so there's one person that doesn't like them.
I've never tried them, so I'm going to leave my opinion out of there for now.
They're not my favorite, but I have eaten them.
Yeah. You were talking about having to go wash your hands and said, yeah, and your face too, Tom.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah, ketchup chips. Oh yeah, there's Colin's mom. Yeah, Sue said ketchup chips are a maritime thing. All right, well there you go. Oh my gosh, ketchup and creamy. Why creamy dill? What's with the creamy? What is that?
Well, you wouldn't want the
sour cream and onion usually.
Yeah, sour cream and onion, but you wouldn't want the uncreamy ones.
I wouldn't. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know what's the creamy part. Okay, dill, because around here we don't. Well, there is
a creamy type of background flavor to them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
You can get sour cream and onion chips, or you can get creamy dill or dill. Yep.
I tell you what, this is what's so cool about having this show is that I get an education from you guys, Laurie and Tom and Colin, and you guys. You give me an education every single time we have you on the show. It's amazing. And now I know about storm chips.
Yep. And ketchup chips.
And ketchup chips that I have yet to try. But if I come up to Nova Scotia, I got to get up there. I'm going to try. Well, if there's any, there won't be any around, right? Because there's no storm.
No, they make them all year long.
Okay. All right. But they just look
you never know. You never know when you're going to need them, right?
Right. Exactly. That's very true. Yep.
And there's a lot of people buy them just because they like the idea that there's the 4 flavors in a bag. They just like the mixture.
Okay. I guess I'm too Americanized. I can't. I'm trying to fathom the whole idea of having them all the different flavors in the same bag.
It works out somehow.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. John just sent me. John, what'd you send me here?
Well, I've been looking for live webcams of the area, so you can flash some of the. There's one from Halifax, which is pretty decent.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going through while everyone's talking and just trying to see what I can pull.
Sometimes, John, if you try like the Nova Scotia Department of Highways, that's got cameras at all key intersections.
This is New Glasgow. Let me bring this one up here. It's it doesn't go full screen, So where would this be? This is New Glasgow. Where is that? Whereabouts is that located?
Between Truro and Cape Breton.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's on the 104.
East River weather cam. Wow. And you can tell it's pretty windy, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's shaking around pretty good. You can tell it's pretty windy, but maybe not quite as bad as down where Karen is, down by Cape or the.
Probably ain't got that far yet. That's another.
Yeah. A little further up the country.
Yeah.
The good news is the lights are still on.
The what's still on? Oh, the
lights are still on.
Yeah. Yep.
It looks like Pier 21 from Halifax is still going. And that's more of an aerial view of things. It's windy though, for sure. All right, let's take this one off, and we're going to try to bring. Oh, what's this one here? This one is the Armdale Roundabout.
Armdale Rotary, yeah.
Where's that at? Is that in Halifax area?
It's going into Halifax.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. All right, go full screen on it here. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, the trees aren't moving around too bad yet. You can see them here in the foreground. You can see a few of them. They're not moving around too bad yet. So So that's that's Halifax. Yeah, Professional Center, Armdale Professional Center, Halifax. Okay,
But you can see it's
and
coming
there's
down
still
pretty
people
good.
out and about.
Yeah, it's coming down pretty good, but within the next couple of hours, that's going to really start to
really ramp up. Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to come back and check these. We'll check these cams later and just see.
But I tell you, the best I've seen so far is the Peggy's Cove. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, that one is. I'm going to bring that one back up here because that we can't see a whole
Right
lot.
now. That's one there right now. That's down the bottom of the hill, so that's going to be in the lee somewhat of the wind.
Gotcha.
Right now, there's almost 23,000 people without power, or customers without power in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's begun already. Yep.
So the
yeah, because it was 12,000 just a little bit ago. It was 12.
It's 22,947 right now. That's the total for Nova Scotia.
But did it tell what area?
It doesn't give you the list. Oh, I lost it again. Hang on. Mostly Halifax and eastward. Okay. So Halifax, New Glasgow's got 5,000 without power right now. So it's going to be sort of 13,000 in around Halifax alone.
Wow.
But it's pretty good down South Shore, Lunenburg, in the new down around Lunenburg, and that's only, well, I shouldn't say only, but it's like 240.
Yeah.
So down in that area. But the South Shore the southwest shore looks pretty much like it's escaping the big power outages right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Patty is down, as she said, from eastern Newfoundland, where we dodged the bullet. Enjoying the coverage. Thanks. Appreciate it, Patty. Wow.
Ain't reached it yet, I don't remember neither.
What's that? Say that again?
Probably Eastern Newfoundland, it probably hasn't reached them there yet neither.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to get to Newfoundland until, well, probably lunchtime tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But then it's going to hit that hard left turn, and it's going to take a lot of stuff down through Labrador, which is, there's Newfoundland and Labrador, right? So you get Newfoundland, which is the island, and Labrador, which is part of the same province, is actually is on the mainland of Canada. Right, so the west coast of Newfoundland, I think, is going to take quite a hit, and they're going to get all snow down through Labrador, which is kind of funny when you say it. Like I know I said it earlier, but to get a tropical storm and get snowfall out of it.
Yeah, that is. How does that happen?
It's sucking all that cold air out of the north and it's turning the water to snow. Wow. That counterclockwise motion.
It's the difference in the temperature from here to there.
Yeah, it pulls that cold air down.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that. And it's here you got a tropical storm and you're getting a snowstorm out of it. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That is. That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I can hardly fathom that. But that does. I mean, it's like the lake effect. We get a lot up in the UP of Michigan. We get a lot of lake effect snow.
Yeah.
And that affects where you got that cold air blowing across open water. Once the lakes freeze, and it shuts right off. But when you have that open water and that cold air is blowing across that open water, it just brings up the moisture and it dumps snow. I mean, you hear about Buffalo getting it so bad. That's how it is up in the UP in certain bands. And you'll be driving along in your car. And you're a perfectly sunny day, windy, very windy, but a perfectly sunny day. And you see this white cloud up in front of you on the freeway. And you're like, that doesn't look good. And all of a sudden you're in a blizzard for about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. You're in an absolute blizzard. And then you drive out of the other side and it's sunny again. You're like, okay. So those are the finger bands from the wind blowing across the lake and picking up that lake effect snow. And it is an absolute blizzard for about 1 mile, whatever the width of that finger is. And then you drive out of it to the other side and the sun is shining again. Still windy, but the sun is shining again.
Yep.
Just the odd
we get them sometimes along the coast. We call them snow squalls.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I see we got a few power outages in New Brunswick now too, southeast New Brunswick, which is to be expected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wow.
Well, it's messing us in this area so far.
Yep. Yeah, I was just going back through some of the chat here just to see what I've missed. I know that we've been on for a couple hours now, and I really appreciated the guys from the island. There was a couple more that one of the guys that And he was going to pop on with us, and I have not seen. I sent him the link, and I haven't seen anything from him. Let's see who else. Karen, of course, called in. Tony was here. Dale was here. Alessandra, we know that she couldn't be here. Ian Spooner, he came on, and that was just great. I remember who else we missed here. Let's see. See if I can get that over to him. Let's see if he's still around. And then we can talk to him real quick before it gets too late. There we go. And I have to apologize.
If you're looking for someone from Nova Scotia right now, if they're not available,
it's 10:30 already.
They're probably busy.
Pragmatic. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. See if he can make it. Yeah, he's definitely.
I see Jeff from Anchor Tours is still around. Is Jeff from Anchor Tours still around? Or is he gone? No, he was here.
Oh yeah, let's see. Oh my gosh, I got so carried up in all this here. Let me see if I can find him real quick. And again, I had to apologize. I know Laird was going to come on too,
and I'm going to go on mute for a minute. I'm going to check in with our buddy Dale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
real quick, and see if he even has power.
Yeah, and Laird just got back from his European trip too, so
yeah,
he's probably got a little bit of jet lag going on.
Probably, yep.
Because he's been over in the Netherlands, so to him right now would be the equivalent of like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, well, he saw the I sent it over there to him, and again, I had to apologize. Let's see, is this? Yeah, it's Laird, but he's seen it, but yeah, it might be too late there now. It's 10:30. My goodness, I'm so sorry.
And depending on what the weather's doing too, right? So
yeah,
where he is, because he's right down his place. If he's in Mahone Bay tonight, is right on Mahone Bay.
Right,
like it's up on the hill, but it's. He's going to get some pretty serious winds blowing in that harbor, I'd say.
Let's see.
We didn't know it at the time we were there, but he was just down the road from Henry and I.
Let's see. Oh, okay. I guess we maybe got a little video coming.
That would be good.
All right, cool. That's Oh, and Aaron too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I missed several people that I talked to earlier today, but Aaron,
if they got power, it might be better to get them in the morning anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
See
and I'm going to reach
residual.
out to the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron was one that never got back to me though. I sent out to several people today, and Aaron was one of them that never returned a message to me.
Is he in Canada now? Do you know, or is he off on one of his?
I think he's back.
Excursions.
I thought he was. Yeah, I thought he was.
He could be. He could well be. I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, I gotta show this real quick. This is from Colin. So this is from Colin, folks. You guys be prepared. I mean, you've got the wind, you've got the rain, you got the possible snow in certain areas up there, and the power outages and all that. But you didn't know that you might have Sharknado coming as well.
There you go.
Watch out for the sharks.
Unbelievable.
I don't know who put that one together, but there you go. Sharknado. Yeah, that might. Yeah, so watch out for the sharks when you get up in the morning. You go out to check your boats and your trees and all that kind of stuff. Just watch out for the sharks that might be on land. How close do I live to listen? What's that?
Them's the great whites, and they got tagged. That's how they know where they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other year when the nudie girls dove off of Shag Harbor, there was a great white in the water the same time they would, about 500 yards from them, that they didn't know about.
See, now that's the thing. And
those are just the ones, like Laurie says, those are just the ones that are tagged, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For
oh
research.
my gosh. Yeah, Sharknado. Navy Dogs was just asking how far I live from Rick and Marty. Actually, the UP where I'm at, or where I'm from in the UP of Michigan, is on the eastern UP. And Rick and Marty are originally from the western UP over by Iron Mountain, so they're on the other end of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So, but still considered a Yooper regardless. Even though they're on the Wisconsin side, they're still considered a Yooper. And so if you take I-75 up through Michigan from Florida, and you go right up through there and right into Michigan, and I'm right off of I-75 is where I'm from. So when you get to Sault Ste. Marie, right between Sault Ste. Marie and the bridge, the Mackinac Bridge. So I would say probably a couple 100 miles to get across the UP over to where they're at, something like that. But now Marty, lives down in Traverse City, and he is Sault Ste. Marie would be about 25, 26 miles, something like that, Jim. 25, 26 miles. If you take between go ahead. Sorry, Tom.
See, Brenda Dixon made the comment there. Well, Crocs, I guess, will wind up on the land in Florida after storms. Why not sharks?
Exactly.
I'm cool. I'm cool with the Crocs because I can outrun a shark.
Yeah. Yeah, he's flopping around while you're running. So yeah, as long as you don't do anything really silly. Laird is going to come on. He said give him a minute or give him a second here. He's trying to. He was probably in bed, and trying to weather the storm out or whatever. And then of course I woke him up, so I'll have to apologize.
Most of the people in Nova Scotia are sleeping with one eye open tonight.
Yeah. That's exactly
They're
right.
waiting to hear that one thing go bang or crack
and that's the worst part of it, isn't it? I mean, you sit there and every time that, and I'm in a fifth wheel trailer right now. And honestly, the slightest wind is moving this thing around, and the rain, when it's raining, it sounds like there's, people are beating on the roof up there. And it doesn't take much, but but you're always listening and you're waiting for that, when the wind is coming, you're like, okay, hold together. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Now in a hurricane
or when the whole house goes quiet, you think, oh, did the power just go out?
Yeah. Yep. All right. There he is. Laird, how you doing, sir? I'm sorry. I was so long in getting to you. I'm sorry. I so apologize, sir.
No problem.
How you doing?
All right. Sorry, we're a little dark here right now, so.
Oh, no problem at all. How are things in your neck of the woods?
A little bit windy. I don't know if you can hear.
I can hear.
But not too bad.
Yep.
Okay. Whereabouts are you located? You don't have to be exact. Just kind of give us an idea.
Well, we're in Dartmouth.
Okay.
So that's just the other side of Halifax.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and it looks like you guys are. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
About an hour from Oak Island.
Okay. All right. Kind of going like northeast or north. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks like you guys might you're gonna get a lot of rain, a lot of wind, but I guess the eye of the storm is gonna kind of miss. You fortunately is gonna go north. Halifax is still gonna get a fair amount of it, the bad storm side.
We're on the I guess the rain side. We're on the west side.
Okay. Yep. Laurie Wickens, if you have not met Laurie Wickens, he is down in Shag Harbor. He has the Shag Harbor UFO Incident Museum down there.
Yeah.
So that's where he's from. So Laurie, meet Laird Niven. And then, of course, Tom.
Laird.
Tom, have you met Laird before?
Yep.
And Tom is in New Brunswick.
Yeah, we've had beer together.
Ah, yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So so we're getting reports from different people around, and like I said, our main concern is that you guys are all safe there, and that we don't get a whole lot of damage, or you don't get a whole lot of damage from this. So I take it, were you out at the, and I don't want to get into too much island stuff, but were you out at the island today? Did you guys get everything buttoned up there?
Yeah, we had a really pretty short day today.
Mm-hmm.
I left the island at 1:00.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wrap things
That's
up
good.
pretty early. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously, this is a busy time for you guys right now. You got a lot happening out there. And so, obviously, and then you're going to wait probably till Monday, I would imagine, to get back out there to see what's happened.
Well, you have people like Scott Barlow who will, if he hasn't decided to go home to PEI, he'll be out there, late tomorrow afternoon to check out what's happened. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the chat earlier. I reached out to him today also, and just to kind of just let him know that we're thinking about you guys and our prayers are out. This doesn't do too much devastation there, but yeah, he was in the chat a little while ago. I guess he was doing, what was it, wrapped bacon
Bacon
wrapped
wrap.
scallops.
I was going to say, you must have missed the invitation for the bacon wrap scallops, did you, Laird?
Yeah, I missed a lot of those invitations. Actually.
Ian Spooner didn't get one either, so don't feel
Yeah,
bad.
Ian was on with us for a little while, and he said he didn't get one either. So yeah, I guess Scott's going to hear about it on Monday, I would imagine. So yeah.
Oh, of course. No, Scott's. He's the caretaker, right? So
yeah.
He'll be there first thing on tomorrow.
Yeah, checking things out. I know. Yeah, so we did get a little bit of a Colin Jamieson, who is he does do some co-hosting for me from time to time, and he goes around in his boat quite often, and gets a few pictures of the island from his boat and whatnot. And he's like 12 feet from the water or something like that, and he's right there, a stone's throw away from Oak Island. And he said he was going to take a look and see how things are looking in the morning there as well. When it subsides enough to do so, and try to get a few pictures and look around a little bit. But we really hope that things don't get too bad for you there.
No, Oak Island, it should be pretty good. It shouldn't get too much. We're not sure what the storm surge. That's the big question right now.
Yeah. Yep.
How big the storm surge is, but it's going to hit. The main gist of the hurricane is going to hit Cape Breton.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, we're hoping we just get a little bit of it right now.
If we get northwest wind, we shouldn't have much storm surge. Not like we would with easterly wind.
Yeah, no, they say it's going to be as strong as one, but it's going to last a bit longer.
Yeah.
Over us, but we're pretty.
It's going to be a little wider too. I think it's going to cover more area.
Yeah, it's big for sure.
Wow.
But it should miss Shag Harbor, Shelburne.
Yeah.
And we're kind of hoping it misses us.
Yeah. Yeah, we certainly do too. Yeah, we know that once it gets past and you get that wrap around, that can be pretty devastating too. And the sustained, that's what we were talking about earlier, is the sustained winds and the fact that it rained in so many areas so much, it saturated the ground. And when you get those sustained winds, that's when you're going to get the trees uprooting.
Yes.
And coming down and taking out power lines, and hopefully not well, but yeah, so
in Nova Scotia, we assume the power is going to go out anyway, so it's just a matter of when and for how long.
Yeah, it's not if. Yeah, it's the same thing here.
Exactly. Yeah.
The big question is when is it going to come back on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I start with generator.
Yeah, start with the generator. You have a generator there, Laird?
No, I don't. We're talking about. We have propane, so we could get a generator put in, but we don't have one right now. Our record for power outage with Hurricane Juan is 8 days. So,
oh wow,
I'm kind of hoping if the power goes out here, we might just take the family down to Mahone Bay if they have.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, at least this time of year, if it goes out, you're not going to have pipes freezing, and everything's kind of livable. So.
Yeah, we have a propane stove and we have a fireplace. So
there you go.
Yep.
Like you keep the dampness out.
Yeah, it's just like glamping for us.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I tell you what, I appreciate it. I know it's late there, sir, and you've been up and I got to you late. I really apologize for that,
Oh,
but
no
I really appreciate you coming on. I may I'll be coming on in the morning again and probably and do a little bit of a live show just because I want to several people like Colin and Ian and that they kind of mentioned that they would like, and Karen Public Cover would come on again in the morning and kind of give us an update of how we just want to make sure you guys are okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Truly, that's our biggest concern. That our hope and prayer is for that there's no damage that is terrible damage other than maybe a few trees down or whatever. And that everybody stays safe. That's our main concern. Tony, we talked to Tony earlier, and he was busy, man. He actually went outside with his phone, and it was blowing and snowing. It was blowing and windy and everything. With to Tony for that sort of thing, right?
He's got a lot of the things to batten down more than we do.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. And you mentioned Scott earlier too. With being so far from his family. I mean. That's got to be hard on him, really, and because PEI is going to get hit pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that's where the storm surge is a real concern.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's conflicted because he's got good people to take care of everything in PEI, and he's more concerned about what's happening here. So,
yeah, wow. Yep. I tell you what, it's a good thing you guys have a great team and all of that. And we really hope that, like I said, not too much happens there devastatingly. And we'll check back with you in the morning. And I know it's late and I don't want to keep you, but I really do appreciate you coming on and giving us an update of what's going on. And like I said, we just want to make sure that everybody's okay. That's our main concern.
Yeah. Well, right now, where we are in Dartmouth, Halifax, it's pretty good, and we're an hour and a bit into the hurricanes. So
yeah, I didn't have now do you have your storm chips? I'm learning. I got a new thing today, storm chips. I didn't know.
Yes, we do not. We don't. I have storm beer.
Oh, there you go, storm beer.
That's probably even more important.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have storm beer or storm chips. Sorry.
I had no idea. I was asked earlier what storm chips were, and I had no idea what that was. And now I've been introduced to them. I actually seen a bag of them. We had a picture. Colin Jamieson sent over the picture of the storm chips, and and then I heard about the ketchup chips, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
Well, we've had ketchup chips for a long time. So. Yeah.
Wow.
So are you back to normal time after your trip, Laird? Your jet lag is all gone?
I actually don't get jet lag.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no, we were up for 24 hours on Thursday on the way home and just kind of picked up as normal.
Those are great
to sleep and
photographs and things that you posted. Those were great. Thanks for doing that.
Oh yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a great trip.
Wow. Yeah, we really do appreciate those pictures. We really do. It kind of lets us see that some of the other things you have going on, in life and stuff. And we really do appreciate that because we find that, you guys lead such interesting lives. I mean, it may not seem like it to you, but for us, it truly is. And we like to see that. We really do.
Yeah. Oh, this is it was difficult to explain, but it was a once in a lifetime trip.
Mm-hmm. Clearly. Yeah, without a question. Yep. You could see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, sir. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go. We're going to start wrapping it up here, but I would like to check back. I'll probably send you a text sometime tomorrow, not too early, of course, but sometime tomorrow, just to kind of follow up and see how you're doing, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can explore the damage.
All right. I appreciate that, sir. Well, you have a good night, and we'll talk to you in the morning.
All right.
Thanks, Laird. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, so let's see here. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, Jeff.
Wow. What's that?
I said I've just given you pictures from Mahone Bay. There's a live cam. It stills, and it looks like Mahone Bay is actually taking flooding now.
Oh, really? Is this the one with looks like a garage right here? Let's see.
No, it's Mahone Bay. It's the third one up. I'm not sure if you see it.
Mobile's new price drop puts
I got a commercial going. What's that all about?
I have no idea.
What does this one say? This is
the one Mahone Bay. It's marked Mahone Bay. It should be third from the bottom.
Okay, let me look here. Okay.
And it stills because I think the cameras just are not functioning like they should, but it shows flooding. I was like, well, there's the surge right there.
Okay, so this one has like 4 different cams on it, right?
Yeah, but they're like taking pictures like every minute. It's like a slower camera. It's not a live stream, but you can clearly see the flooding, which is what I thought was fascinating. As I look around, I took Tom's advice and started looking at places. But if you can, I'm not sure you can blow. You should be able to blow those up. But yeah, that's the Mahone Bay area. That's
clearly there, all right.
Oh wow,
that's flooding already.
Wow.
You can see where the street is, and that's what's left of a street. So this is kind of what they're going to be in store for, because all those places are, they're right at sea level. So
I wish I could make this bigger, but I can't.
Let me see if I can do something for you, Jeff.
Yeah, you can see the water across the road. Oh my goodness.
Got the date time stamp on the top left corner of it.
It says 9:23 at 10:44 p.m. So that was a minute ago.
Like right now. Yep.
Right now. So I'm going to try to see if I can zip that into a JPEG for you, Jeff.
All right. And while you're doing that, I am going to try to get to the next one here and see.
But you can see those are clearly just the flooding has started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's going to be a high tide in the morning, right? So you're going to have a high tide now, 4 hours from now.
There had to be from a brook or a river running over the road. That is not from the tide, because there's low water there, I think.
Okay, Jeff, here's one. See if I give it, let's see if you can make that any bigger, Jeff. That specific. It might not be any bigger, but you can maybe stretch it out.
Yeah, I should be.
But you can clearly see that the flooding has begun in Mahone Bay.
Oh.
And it's only going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
There we go. I can.
Yeah. So I'll do that for the rest of the pictures, but yeah.
Yeah, you can see that. It's definitely, this is all across the road completely.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's what's going on currently in Mahone Bay. So I'll get the other pictures to you, Jeff. So you can see. Give me a second here. And we can just blow those up as I get them to you. Okay, there's another one, Jeff.
Somebody said high tide was a full 4 hours ago.
Wow.
It's not coastal flooding. Somebody else said. I can't. No. Unfortunately, put your name on there if you don't mind. Because it just comes over.
I'm just looking to the left of it there. It looks like there's a rock retaining wall there too. That's below.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, right there.
Yep. Let's see if
that could just be runoff.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Yep.
Hard to say. There's gonna be lots more of it by tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Colin said that's rain on the government wharf. What's that? Okay. Let's see if I can find it's Colin. Thank you, Colin. What's this one here?
And I was in contact with a Catherine Williams, who I rented from this past summer. She said she'd be willing to give us a live from Boularderie Point.
Oh, okay. Cool.
If you want me to she'll give us I can put her through my mic, and she can just tell us what's going on there. That's a little further up. That's about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes, Tom. I think I'm right. About 40 minutes north of Oak Island, give or take. But she's really close to the water. I've rented from that house before. And so I was trying to see if I can pull her up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we're going to wrap it up after that. We've been on coming around 2 hours and 40 minutes. I know that Laurie and Tom, you guys got to be getting really tired now. It's getting late. I don't want to keep you.
It's going to be just starting to pick up here now. We've had a couple of bands of rain go through. I can hear the wind outside the house.
Yeah, I've only heard rain hit the window for a minute, but it just for a second, it's not raining again now. Just a squall going by.
Yeah. Like I say, I really don't expect too much to happen here till probably at least a couple hours from now. Anything's going to happen.
Well, I know I'll be up.
The morning will be the most interesting, because you're going to have the water runoff plus whatever the tide pushes back in. So
right.
Nope. Phone is out. Power is out.
Oh, her phone
I'm not getting a thing. So that's Boulardier's point. So
she's one of the 23,000.
It has to be that. It's not even. I had her about 20 minutes ago and it's gone.
All right. Well,
So,
folks, I tell you what, I appreciate all the people that have stuck around for the
Yeah.
last 3 hours or 2.5 hours with us. And we are
Wow.
going to come back on in the morning. I don't know exactly what time yet. I'm thinking probably somewhere around 9 o'clock or so, Oak Island time.
At the
So
last
we're
time,
going to, what's that?
just
Go
a
ahead, Tom.
quick update. The last time we talked, there were almost 23,000 people affected in Nova
Yes.
Scotia. It's now over 50,000.
Wow. It's over doubled in just what, the last 40 minutes?
20 minutes.
Hours, oh yeah.
Hey, Jeff. Catherine called in. She's actually stepping outside so we can actually hear the storm from her place.
Oh boy.
She's in Boulardiere's Point, and I'm going to throw her on real quick before we wrap up.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Catherine, you're on speakerphone if that's all right, and I'm going to let you talk, and you can tell us what you see from Boulardiere's Point.
Okay, well,
Can you
it's
hear that?
nighttime, so I don't see much, but we'll see what happens when I go outside. So pretty windy, but we've definitely experienced far worse conditions than this, but I think we're still quite early in the storm, and I'm going to guess things will be probably quite different in an hour or two, but pretty windy, trees. Well, I'll probably end up losing a couple trees on this property.
Wow.
We lost 5 this past winter in one of the storms, and I know I went out in the middle of that storm and was actually pretty scared to stay outside just because it looked like a bunch of the trees were going to come down. So we're not at that extent yet. So it's still pretty mild compared to other things I've experienced on this property.
Gotcha.
But yeah. Anyway.
Did she say it's raining there right now too?
Yeah, in a couple hours, though, it might be a different story.
Yeah, can you describe the conditions? Jeff Freeman, who's the host there, he just wanted you to describe the conditions that you're seeing right now. Is it raining?
Just rain and lots of wind. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I guess if I was down, if I drove down the street, I'd probably be, ooh, hold on.
Uh-oh. Well, be safe. Don't stay out there alone.
I thought it was lightning, but it's just my son running out to the chicken coop with a flashlight.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you know my property, John.
Yeah, sure.
The one in Boulardiere's Point.
Yeah.
So at night it can be pretty dramatic with the trees and the way the light filters through. But so I mean, it would be, I guess, maybe scary for some, but I don't know. It's kind of exciting, actually.
As long as everyone stays safe.
Well, here, I'll hold the phone up and see if you can hear the wind.
Okay, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. But yeah, she's going to. You hear the wind? I can hear it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? We got just a really big gust.
Yeah, we heard it.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, just in the last minute, it's just kind of gotten a little wild.
What do you think the gust was that you just experienced? How fast were the winds?
I have no idea, but it was enough that I was actually scared standing under the tree.
Please get inside.
Yeah,
get inside. Get inside. Well, we appreciate you checking in with us, and we'll check in with you later. Just want to see how things were going there, and we know where you are, and stay safe.
So I will, if I think to it, I'll take some video footage. But yeah, right now,
cool. I
mean, definitely a bad storm, but we'll see how we are in an hour. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for reporting in.
Anyway,
stay safe, and we'll be praying for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow. Yeah, that's Kat says lightning's pretty steady right now too. So, oh my gosh.
So yeah, she said that was a pretty good gust, probably a feeder band gust as this thing moves ashore. So, and again, that's about 30-40 minutes north of Oak Island. And so it's going to be a little stronger up there.
Yep.
So, and for her to be a little scared, and I've been to that place. I've actually stayed at that house before when it was a rental.
I'll see what happens around here in the morning. I'll be around here at 10 o'clock if you want to call me again.
Okay, sure will. Laurie, you betcha. I'll definitely reach out to you in the morning, okay?
Good enough then. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Laurie.
Okay. Thank you,
Welcome.
Laurie.
Good
Have a
night.
good
Nice
night.
meeting everybody.
Yep.
Good night,
You
Laurie.
too.
Appreciate you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Be careful out there.
Try to be, yes.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, Laurie.
Right.
All right. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up here too. Man, I tell you what, I really appreciate everybody that has come on and you guys for weathering this with me, and Tom being up so late. But I know you're going to be kind of keeping an eye on things too as the night rolls along. But again, our prayers are for everybody that we don't to see any injury or anything like that happening, and that hopefully not too much damage in all of this as well. And folks, we're going to be back on in the morning, probably around 9 o'clock Nova Scotia time. Let's see, what time is that for me? That's like 7 o'clock for me. Maybe a little later than that. Maybe 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you might want to try a little later in case people are cleaning up.
Yeah, and we don't know just how bad. I'll take a look at how bad it is first in the morning. But you guys, if you want to check in with us, click on that notification bell. If it's working correctly the way it's supposed to, you'll know as soon as I go live. You can check in with us there and see how the conditions are in the morning there in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and all the surrounding area, Cape Breton. Well, the folks that we can get on, and we'll find out how things are going, and we'll give an update as we go along. So if you want to check it out in the morning, just click, like I said, click on that notification bell, and then you'll know as soon as I go live, because it might be rather impromptu. We'll just jump on when we can. So. Again, yes, Jim, thank you very much. As you're exactly right. Everyone stay safe. And yeah, best wishes to everyone in Eastern Canada for sure. Appreciate you all for being here tonight. Tom, again, thank you so much.
Yep.
John, thank you guys. Appreciate you both for coming on here with us tonight. And folks, we'll catch you again here in the morning, J-Free 906 and the Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream. Good night, everybody, and stay safe out there.
Night, everyone.
Night.